Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Squares the Roundtable podcast. I am Mike Boyle, and with me are my buddies, Jeff and Ivan. We're glad that you're here once again. We appreciate you listening. So, Ivan.
Yeah.
I tried to say Jeff and Ivan at the same time. I'm so excited that both of you are here. I amalgamated your names. That sounds bad.
Yeah. I don't even want to see that physically. I don't even want to see that visually.
And who's been smoking here? Anyway.
Thought I was the one who likes the
yes.
drugs.
Well, not drugs. That's not nice. You make it sound so dirty.
I got my caffeine drug. So
everybody's got their vices. Yours is coffee. What's your vice, Jeff?
I don't have coffee. I don't drink coffee.
Oh, you don't drink coffee, Mike. Do you drink coffee, Jeff?
I do drink it, but I don't drink it very often.
I'm to the point where I can drink soda at night and just fall asleep. I mean, caffeine has no effect on me, so I just drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. I drink caffeine.
You drink caffeine?
Oh my God! What are you wrong with me?
What is your...
Anyway, Ivan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. Just happy to be out of the house now after a long, turn at illness. And, it was a gorgeous day on Sunday, St. Patty's Day that just passed us. And, got to go in and do a real nice session of the Sweet Soulful Sunday. And the first record I played, believe it or not, staying within the realms of Irish music, I played Danny Boy by Jackie Wilson.
Good.
All right.
Good.
So that was good. So I did my little dedication to the Irish. So after that, had a really nice evening, and believe it or not, it was very fortuitous in the tip jar. So I have to say thanks everybody for giving in so much to the tip jar. It really made for a nice meal for Julie and me. So thank you. So it was very cool. Then we ran a little late and got over to the St. William's. So we're doing the rehearsal. We're closing in on it. It's only 4 weeks off. On the 26th and the 27th at St. William's Church, the Raising the Roof show with special guests coming down. $10 buys you that, a raffle ticket, and, of course, some yucks and some very interesting people to check out. So I'll be DJing that session as well.
What day is that?
The 26th and the 27th of April. All the festivities start at 6 p.m.
All right.
Yeah, so other than that, it's just been it's been cool. Took care of some stuff today, ran some errands, got lost at an adventure, and checked out some stores, ate at Arby's. It's been a long time since I've done that. And it was just like, oh my gosh. Here this archarium is like filled with all these great restaurants. I'm thinking, there's an Arby's. I'm thinking, I haven't had Arby's in forever. So beef and cheddar, come to daddy. Yes. With potato cakes. And a fruit punch.
We don't have an Arby's up here anymore.
That's so sad. I mean, I used to love their barbecues. Man, I used to put a boatload of those away back in the day.
It's just their curly fries.
Curly fries are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, the curly fries are the bomb.
Baby.
They are so decadent, man.
Baby. That's all I have to
Big
say.
decadent potato. Yeah. Seriously.
So, Jeff, did you eat at Arby's this week?
Not this week. But there's one nearby the house, and curly fries just alone. Or once in a while, the potato cakes aren't bad either.
Do you just put sauce on your potato cake, or do you put horsey sauce on the potato cake? Do you put ketchup in it?
It's horseradish.
Well,
they call it horsey sauce.
They call it horsey sauce?
They call it horsey sauce. Yes.
We call it horsey
this
sauce.
is not a delirious thought. It's the truth. They call it horsey sauce.
I was just throwing it out there. Like it's
no, he's right. They call it horsey sauce.
But it is horseradish, but they call it horsey sauce.
Which, now that you say it out loud, makes me wonder, have I been eating horses for all this time instead of horseradish sauce?
You need to develop that claim to all the naysayers.
Oh.
That was brutal. Anyway. So that was the thing, you know. I mean, when I used to get the potato cakes, it was like used to drizzle the regular, you know, the red sauce that they have for those
Arby sauce, yeah.
Yeah, the Arby sauce, and then I would drizzle the horsey sauce.
Right. I mean, really, you go to Arby's, you pretty much have three choices. It's either going to be ketchup, the Arby sauce, or the horsey sauce.
Well, I have to say the Arby sauce and the horsey sauce for me.
Don't they have a honey mustard because they have chicken strips?
Oh, maybe they do. I think do they have chicken strips? Hold on. I don't think they... maybe they do.
Yeah.
I'm not looking it up.
No, we'll just take a shot. I think they do.
They probably do. It's funny. Their buffalo chicken sandwich is pretty good.
I had their double beef and cheddar today.
Oh, God.
And,
you're still alive?
Huh?
You're still alive after that?
Apparently.
Well, I survived it, man. It was a whole lot of meat, but that was great to eat.
Dude, that's a lot. I'm going to leave that part alone too about a lot of meat.
And I put a horsey. I put in a potato cake inside the sandwich too. Yes, I did.
He ate a lot of beef and he made sure that there was the horsey sauce that's white. That works.
A lot of horsing around here tonight already.
Let's see. My weekend, I did get a chance to go out and actually do some RPGing. I did some Star Wars RPG on Saturday. Out at Patriot Games in Warrenville. Nice store. It's out near, right around Naperville. Nice store. Really clean. Lots of different pieces. Lots of different stuff if you're in the Chicago area and you're out west. I recommend. They definitely have a lot of different stuff going on. They also have a lot of space for people to come play games. So, and they've been really helpful with that kind of stuff. So, high recommend if you're out in the western suburbs of Chicago, definitely check it out. And it's a good time. So I caught the end of Umbrella Academy, and I talked a little bit about this on my own personal page. It was funny, the first 6 episodes, I'm like, wow, this is really great. And then, the next few episodes, it's just like, I don't know what it is with Netflix, where it's just like, oh, we got room, we can add a few things here or there. It's like, oh God, none of this is needed. Just get me this. And the worst part is like I could, 2.5 episodes from the finale, I'm sitting there going, I know what's going to happen. I got a pretty good guess. It's really obvious now. And I'm like,
you figure it out.
And I'm like, they're really not going to do this. Yeah, they are. Okay. The only difference was to the magnitude of what they did. But yeah.
Well, that's a bummer when you can predict the ending and you're right.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was really close to what I predicted. I mean, a few tweaks here or there to it, which at least made it a little bit more interesting. I will watch season 2, but if this turns into, and that's the best way I can put it out, that'll probably spoil things. But if it turns into Groundhog Day every year, every season,
Someone just start up a warp drive or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Welcome to my neighborhood, folks.
I
Close
got
your
it.
window, Ivan. Was your window open? Jeez.
The windows are closed,
Sound
man.
like that motorcycle was going through your living room.
Yeah, seriously. That was impressive. I did get a chance to check out Love, Death, and Robots. At least the first 15 of the 18 episodes. They're really short. They range from anywhere from 16 to I don't think there's one longer than 18 minutes for the episode. And they were created by Tim Miller, the guy who did the original Deadpool. And he and somebody else, and it's got kind of a heavy metal feel to it, but not really. but you can see the inspiration of where they went with it. It's all animated. Animation's great. A lot of interesting, different stories, none of which fit together. So they can be watched separately. More good than bad. I'm curious to see what the last 3 episodes look like. But yeah, considering the fact that they're short, really short, a recommend. Certainly, I'll tell you right now, for anybody who's got kids, no. This is MA material, TV MA material. I certainly wouldn't have my kids watching it. But interesting. Very kind of unique and weird in places. Yeah, overall though, I wouldn't say bad. So I did get a chance to catch a couple things over the weekend like that off of, when I was over to friends for Netflix. So, that's kind of my weekend. How about you, Michael?
Well, my TV died.
Oh no!
So Friday night, I was like, okay, I gotta go out to the store and buy a new TV. This would be easy. You just go to the store, run and pick one out. So, yeah, this was an adventure. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to the Walmart, and I've done some research, looked on the internet, picked out a nice 55-inch LG. And this was a Friday night, so the kids behind the counter, they're of no help to anybody.
Okay.
So I didn't need their help anyway, so maybe just to help load it. But they just pretty much yeah. Anyway, so I go all the way back up front. I pick out the one I want. They have a box. It's new in box, obviously, not refurbished or anything like that. So I pick the one I want, drive. I go all the way up front, get a cart, come all the way back, manage to get it in the cart myself. This is large. This is a TV box, so it's big. It's large.
Yeah,
and it's hard to navigate, because you got to hold it steady and upright.
It's a big,
laying at an angle, sticking out at an angle in the cart. So I get up front, pay for it. And it's $5. I'm like,
wow.
So it's the one I wanted, and it's my part of my Dairy Con money. So well. Anyway, so as I get to the checkout, and they help me out there, and she's all like, "You need any help with that?" And I said, "No, I don't need any help." So then I get outside, and it's snowing, and the wind is blowing pretty hard. And now I got this TV box, which is now a sale.
Oh, no.
For trying to get it into the truck before the wind blows it off out of the cart and onto the ground, and that's no good. So I get it in the truck, get it home, get it inside, out of the box. Now, my old TV was on a central base. And now the newer TVs, they got the tiny little legs on the far side of the bottom of the screen.
Like I got here.
Well, I don't know how you got there.
No,
anyway,
my TV does that too.
Yeah.
It's got the little lead on each.
So, needless to say, my old TV stand is too narrow for it.
Oh.
So, I had to go back to the Walmart
Get a stand.
And get a new TV stand. It's a little lower than I would have liked, but it was cheaper than the other one I looked at, and it had like the higher legs on it. It was $100 more, so I'm like, So it was another $100.
Did you get the extended warranty?
No.
Yeah,
I don't do that shit.
In case the TV breaks?
No. I got the a new surge protector. I always swap out the surge protector.
Sorry, I just keep thinking of the John Finette thing where it's like, why do I need the extended warranty? In case the TV breaks. The TV costs that much to fix it. Why don't I just get a new TV?
That's right. So get this huge TV stand made of heavy ass particle board down into the house. So now I got to build it.
Oh no!
So it's all the IKEA pieces. No, it's not IKEA, but it's, you know what I mean. It's all the cam, those little pegs and those little round cams you got to turn and all that. And then all the little nails to tack the back of the piece on. And then I got to empty the old TV stand of all the boxes. Pretty much, well, all you did was the PS4 and the cable box. And then the TV, move the thing over and prop it up with cardboard because the floor isn't level and it's... So it took me like 5 hours.
Oh!
The whole from start to finish, but I got the TV going like at 12:30 Saturday morning.
Oh my goodness!
So I got it done. It's nice TV though. Looks great. I like it. And the old TV, like I said, the old TV was like 10 years old.
Okay.
Then it was due. So, and that thing this fucker's heavy. I don't know how many. Jeez.
Wait, yours is heavy? Really?
No, this old one. My old one.
Yeah,
because they have more components in them.
I got to call like the township or something and take it somewhere to get it recycled. I have to pay like $30 or something to get it recycled because no one will take electronics.
No. Oh my God. Yeah. So when I got the new 55-inch in the house, first of all, I went over to APT. I went over to App, and they're phenomenal. They really are. And I wisely knew that if there was no way in hell I was going to be able to get that thing like in the house and mounted. So I paid a little extra and had them do the whole thing, and they were done in like an hour, which was great. Oh God.
I didn't want to get it mounted. Having it mounted would have made it too high. So I just put it on a stand.
I'm all for mounting.
It's a little low, but of course when you're on the couch, it's fine.
I'm all for mounting.
But then, Mike, you're very handy though.
Yeah, I know.
You're very handy, folks. Let me tell you something.
Some might say I have two of them.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that, in a pinch, you did some amazing things, Mike. It's fair to say that I remember one time when I was having problems with my tires, you came out and you helped me, and I couldn't have done that wrench, man.
I remember it was cold that day.
Man, it was cold as fuck that day, man. It was colder than a witch's titty and a brass brown thing, it was like, yeah.
So, yeah, I got a new TV.
Now there's a description for you, right there.
Oh, boy.
A witch's titty and a brass bra. Cold.
Hey. So, being said,
hot? What if it was a hot witch? Like, when are the good witches hot?
That's just on Halloween. That's the only time you see.
Good witches are hot, though.
Or when Elvira. You ever see Elvira without her makeup?
Elvira's a knockout, man. Yeah.
But you ever see her without her makeup? She's just so plain Jane.
Yeah, but but it's just like
I'm not knocking it, just saying that it's just a transformation.
He's not. Yeah, the thing that she exudes in Elvira, that's a creative circus.
You'd never know if she took all that off. And you can walk down the street, no one would notice her.
Oh no, people would notice her.
No, because obviously without the wig and the cleavage and the black outfit, obviously. But no,
she blends right in with everybody else, man. She's got that down home type of thing about her,
I don't think the cleavage goes away. I don't think it's no more cleavage. Goodbye. I don't think that's how it works.
No, but I'm sure to make it interesting, there's some kind of device, to make it all a little more appealing. You know how that goes. Women, they have all kinds of tricks for that type of thing.
How did it get from my new TV to Elvira's boobs? How did we get to that?
Well, you mentioned about Halloween, and okay.
You mentioned the cold witch.
Halloween witches.
Halloween witches.
Yeah, cool witch. Yes, cool witch. Elvira is a cool. Is she a witch though?
No, because she's the mistress of the dark, isn't she?
Okay, so then she's not a witch then.
She's not really a witch.
Every Halloween witch is sort of like that, though, except with the witches' hat.
Not the charmed ones. They weren't witches. Well, they were witches, but they weren't like that.
Yeah. They're a little more like, I don't know.
More like a hocus pocus.
No. Ooh.
Watch this Netflix movie called Triple Frontier with Oscar Isaac and Ben Affleck.
Okay.
And it was good. It was a good thriller. It's about these ex-army guys who decide to raid a South American drug lord's house for a crap ton of money. The thing is, when your prized possessions start to weigh you down, it's all about getting all this cash. And the triple frontier, so to speak, is air, land, and sea. And that's how they got to get this money to how they get out of South America. Because then they have to go somewhere to get it laundered, so it looks like they're earning a salary and they're set for life. But it was good. It was good. I liked Oscar Isaac in it. But I'm surprised he wasn't the helicopter pirate because he was one hell of a pilot.
Okay.
So Poe Dameron joke there.
Okay. It went flying over my head.
Yeah, me too. Sorry.
Oscar Isaac, yeah, and Ben Affleck, and then three other guys I didn't know. So, but it was good. I'd catch it. If it's free on Netflix, so I checked that out.
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon, caught a third screening of Captain Marvel, so now I'm good until Endgame.
Wow.
All right.
Now, this was a 2:20 matinee on a Sunday, so they put you in the tiny theaters at the end of the Megaplex, but that theater was full.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So, and my audience really liked it.
Cool.
And it's essentially funny now, the third time you can catch it, you can find all the little things like, wait, how did she know Talos' name? But it was part of the debriefing at the beginning of the scene, or the very beginning when Jude Law is given the exposition before the extraction mission. So that's how she knew who Talos was, because when she's at her friend's house and then the neighbor opens the door and their kids want to see the plane, and she's like, you're trying to pull a fast one, Talos. I'm like, how did she know their name? But oh well. But that was, yeah, so I'm good. And of course, my Marvel watch, we'll get into that a little later. So.
Yeah, speaking of the movie experience, the whole thing about the Cascades drive-in closing up, which, have you heard about that, guys?
Yeah.
There's a drive-in theater near you, Ivan?
No,
the one over in St. Charles.
Is it St. Charles? Yeah, that's been a big local story about driving. Here's the thing.
So here's the thing. Yeah, the thing that I got was that Cascade was being the land that they were on. I guess they were paying someone to be on that land. And why, after 50 plus years, would they have bought their land so that way they wouldn't have had to move off the property? Well, that being the case now, the people want to sell the land, and there's another construction company on the same land that's also part of that whole deal. And it's just, drive-in movies were always just such a great experience growing up. I went to the Bel Air, went to the Twin, and then Cascades, after all was said and done, did the McHenry a couple times.
Yeah, there's still the one up in McHenry.
Is there?
Yeah, it's going to be the last one.
Yep, it's the only functioning drive-in in northern Illinois now.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. Here's my question.
Yeah.
Given where things are today, why would you be interested in going to the drive-thru? Other than nostalgia, I can't figure out why I'd want to go sit in the drive-in.
Well, I guess having grown up with that experience, I was every couple of week event for us in my family. We went to the drive-in theater, and we saw the movies. We were pretty much out of it by maybe the beginning of the second feature, but it was just us being together as a family and everything. And then we go to Ben's Shrimp House, and we get a bunch of fried shrimp, and then we have a midnight snack, and then go home. It was that was family good times. My dad in his beautiful 1967 Malibu 327, beautiful car.
Wow.
And so it was just that type of a thing. My dad loved that car, so he loved to take us out. And part of that experience was going to all the drive-in theaters. And sometimes we go early, and we go down to the playground, and we play at the playground. Sometimes we went to the concession stand early and got some of our snacks beforehand, so we didn't have to go through the intermission. But the intermission cartoons, that's a given. And it's just it's that type of thing that, for me, going to the drive-in theater just kind of brings a little of that back for me, especially, in the way, currently things are going around in my life right now, this moment. But the thing about it is that, it just makes me kind of sad because, I took Soraya, my daughter, to a lot of shows there, a lot of really nice times at the Cascades, just to see it disappear, so much of it has disappeared. I understand, okay, people have to make their money and such, and that seems to be the bottom line for a lot of things, but, you just can't help it just when you attach yourself to something that becomes part of your life's tapestry. It's kind of hard to ignore it, So, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are saying that very same thing. There's a lot of people who are like, you know what? It's progress. That's what happens.
Well, I had a similar situation growing up because we would, as a family, we'd go to the drive-in theater. My dad's 78 Monte Carlo.
There you go. Beautiful car.
He loved that car.
Oh, I had one of those.
Yeah.
I had one of those when I was 16.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the size of the size of a tank.
That's a boat.
Oh, yeah.
You had me and my two sisters in the back seat.
18-wheelers get the hell out of my way when I was driving that car.
Mm-hmm. But,
I've had friends that had that car.
Yeah, we'd have a beverage. We'd all share the back seat. We'd have a beverage for the front seat for Mom and Dad. Then for the intermission, we'd get like either hot dogs or popcorn or whatever. And then later on, as we got older, obviously, we didn't. But then I would go with my friends, and that's the time where we would hide the youngest member of the group in the trunk.
Yep,
on the way in. So you have to, because they give you a head count, and then you got to pay that. And then once you get in, pop the trunk, and off we go.
Out he comes.
That's right.
Clown car.
That's right, clown car. That's right. You okay, Ivan? That didn't sound healthy.
I got up to why I was drinking.
He got me off guard there.
Jeez, you didn't.
See, I'm impressed because you guys talked about family. And that is not the direction I expected to hear of conversations about the drive-in. Because the only thing I know about anybody I know who had friends who, because when you're in the northwest, you're in the northern suburbs, in the the North Shore in Chicago, drive-in kind of gone by the time I was a kid. So I mean, the only thing you heard about was from certain people who it's like that's where you go make out.
Well, yeah, that was part of the experience too.
Right. Well, I mean, which is kind of funny because it's like you go there with your family and then you go there to make out. What part of this seems like a bad idea?
Well, as long as the person's daughter you're going out with and their family's not in the same theater.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. It's like 3 cars over. Hey, look. Uh-oh.
I recognize his freckles.
That boy's fighting that girl, Mom.
Forget that. I recognize those Chuck Taylors. I recognize those Chuck Taylors everywhere. Uh-oh. Gotta go. Bye.
And then the security guard with the flashlight.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had an experience like that once. That was crazy. Oh my god. Yeah. Have you ever had the flashlight on you?
Nope.
No, Jeff?
No. I gotta be honest with you. I'm trying to think if I ever did the drive-through experience. I don't think I did.
You've never been to a drive-in movie?
I do not believe I had gotten there, no.
Oh, man. Dude, we need to initiate this guy.
No, because honestly now it sounds lame. Now it's like I'd much rather be like...
Oh, okay, it's like that now.
Well, okay, well, hold on. Let's put this in perspective, shall we? Do I want to watch these at the drive-in, or do I want to sit in front of my really nice TV where I can spread out and do whatever the hell I want and watch the movie in freaking comfort?
Okay, all right. The ball's in your court. Okay, I get it.
I think that's
more people will take that over the whole driving experience. It's just that I guess maybe you're right. Maybe it is a big chunk of nostalgia.
Well, I think that's the key. I think that you could revive a drive-in. I think the trick is I think it would work if you made it a novelty. And if you made it like a state of the art, but you made it a novelty, so that people would come because it was a novelty.
Well, okay, because the Cascade DriveIn had kind of a carnival atmosphere all its own. I mean, on the 50s night, which was Friday night, everybody came in their classic cars. So not only did you get to see classic movies, you got to see the beautiful classic cars. Connie Pizza would serve up pizzas, in the concession stand, and then, you had situations where, there were certain nights connected to certain movies. And then when they went to digital, they changed with the times. They went to digital. You got your, sound in the speakers of your radio, that type of thing. I mean, They moved on, and according to the article that I had read, last season they had just as good a season as any in the last decade.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, so it's like if they were on top. I mean, you would think that there might have been a chance for it, but I guess not, huh?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Well, go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say, to me, I get it, which is, I'm sure at some point they sat there and they said to themselves that if we sell the land, we come out better in the long run, and then we lease it until we feel like not doing it. And maybe it just went on long enough that really in reality they didn't think they'd go that long, and I don't know. I mean, it's the only thing I could come up with. Because, I'd be curious because you mentioned earlier about, well, how did they not own the land? Well, maybe the answer to the question is they did, and then when the market was good, they sold it for a lot of money and then bought it on leasing, which was cheaper.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what happens when you work with too many business people.
No, but that was interesting to know. I had an idea, but I didn't know how complex of an idea that whole thing was,
Yeah, it can be. If you get the right people and they know what they're doing. But, Mike, you were saying?
Yeah, a couple of years ago there was a GoFundMe for the outdoor theater here in McHenry for some upgrading of the projection equipment for the drive-in. And for a while it looked like it wasn't going to make it, but one guy came in and boom, it was funded. So the drive-in theater here in McHenry has been here pretty much my whole life. And I've seen quite a few movies. And when 07, when the Transformers movie came out, me and my nephew go lots of times. It was cool to see that on the big screen there, too. And then you can always tune your AM radio and drive past the theater, and you can hear the sound at short range.
That was cool. I always thought that was cool. Sometimes we'd leave the Cascades, leave the radio going. Yeah, maybe about half a mile down, and then,
Yeah, then the sound would conk out. Yeah, it was on a low signal.
It would go, whatever was left went into the ether, but that was just, cool.
Yeah, nothing but fond memories at the drive-in.
It's funny we're talking nostalgia, though, because you're talking about that, and then I'm assuming you guys have seen all the hype about the fact that soon we'll be down to the last Blockbuster on Earth. I don't know if you guys had heard about this or not.
There's still one in, Alaska?
No. Apparently, there was one in Australia. It's going to close, and now there will be only one store that is still in existence in Bend, Oregon.
Okay.
I knew it was somewhere out west.
Right. It's up in Oregon somewhere, and there'll be one left after all of that. And,
yeah, I heard Shopko's closing down.
I don't know about that. All I know is apparently it is now a touristic destination, and they have merchandise. There's the last from the last Blockbuster ever, on that kind of stuff. So
I remember renting videotapes, but I did not ever rent DVDs.
I remember the one time that I went and got you that Transformer cell. When I used to work at Deerfield, and the Blockbuster, we had a Blockbuster on our lot. And
that's where I got the poster, the light up poster from. Well, it was made of a clear plastic, so I had to build a light box to go behind it.
I told you, handy.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Oh yeah, it's still hanging up there to this day.
That was cool because I saw that. I mean, I was like, oh man, this has got, Mike all over it, man. I was so happy, and picked it up, ran it into the house, and just I couldn't get it to you fast enough.
Blockbuster, we had another rental. We had locally owned ones. We had a Blockbuster on the other side of town. But there's some family videos. Aren't those still open around here?
They might be.
Yeah.
Well, the locals in certain ones had one advantage that Blockbuster was the family-friendly place. So you had to go everybody had their membership someplace else because, at that point, that's how you watch porn. Before the internet was born, that's how you watched porn.
Yeah, you had to jump behind the curtains to see all the
right, exactly.
Yeah, see all the porn titles. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And you always did the triple look to see if anybody was looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before you went back there, and God God forbid you ran into somebody in there that you actually knew who they knew who you were.
Yeah.
The only advantage would be if somehow you ran into somebody of the opposite sex, which of course never happened to me. So.
Nah, me neither. But I did rate rated room or time or two.
Yeah, well,
yeah, but Blockbuster's gone, and then I hear that like Shopko is like a Kmart kind of store, and those are finally closing down. They had a couple up north. There's one in Janesville. I think there still might have been one in by Fond du Lac we used to go to, but then they're all closing down. So it's hard to keep all these retail establishments all going out, man.
Yeah, Sears, look what happened to Sears. They say that Sears might make a comeback, and then they also said that Toys R Us might make a comeback as a pop-up situation.
Yeah, in the States, they'll be like, I think they're going to be like in either Macy's or something like that, where they'll have like a little kiosk, like a mini store or something.
That makes sense.
But I mean, Toys R Us is doing just fine in Canada, so it's not it's totally gone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Don't you know?
Oh, yeah, hater. We got the Jeffrey up here, eh?
Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
We even spell it wrong with a G.
We got some Putin there next to the Toys R Us there.
Yeah, they got the hockey sticks.
You buy the hockey sticks there to start the kids off young with no high stick in there, Bobby.
Yeah, they even got, do they still got the Pamela Anderson boobs? I don't know. This is going nowhere fast. Gentlemen, good news.
Mm-hmm.
According to Time Out Magazine, or timeout.com, or whatever the hell it is.
Some story. We don't know what it's about.
They have come out with the 48 best cities in the world. As they surveyed 34,000 city dwellers to rank the best cities in the world right now.
Okay.
Anyone want to guess where our hometown is?
Chicago's 48.
No. No, it's not.
Okay.
46.
Okay. 39.
39. No, believe it or not, we're on the other side of the list.
Okay.
We're on the other side of the list for once, gentlemen. We are number 3.
What? Really?
Really?
When was this poll taken?
This just came out.
Okay. Well, it must be from a study or something.
This is current. Actually, no, this came out Monday. Okay. Well, no, not this Monday. This came out the previous week. So this came out last week.
It's a week old.
Okay.
It's a week old. I'm sure we're now. I'm sure
we haven't moved down the list that far since then.
Yeah, I don't think we can get down the list this week. The only cities they're saying are better to live in than ours.
What?
New York, which I question.
No, I don't know about that.
Melbourne, I understand that. That one I get.
Australia.
And then we're third. I mean, we're third ahead of London, LA, Montreal. I don't know about this. Montreal's phenomenal. Every story I have about Montreal is probably not what am I talking about? This show is like TV 14 now. Every story I have about Montreal is 30. Every single one. Every single freaking one.
You didn't need no video, man. You were getting the real
place
deal.
Place to live, not visit.
Yeah, well, if I lived there, I probably wouldn't be fat. I would probably be more poor and totally over. See, this is why I can't live in Vegas either. I would. The only difference is with Vegas is the food's cheap at certain places, so I find ways to eat somehow. Trying to see. Rounding out the top 10, Montreal, as I mentioned, Berlin, Glasgow, Paris, Tokyo. Those were the top 10. Out of curiosity, what is 48? Since you guys asked. 48 is Istanbul.
Istanbul is 48?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Beijing is 47. Kuala Lumpur at 46. My favorite name for a city, Bangkok. 45. Rio de Janeiro is 43. Oh, probably because they're more violent than we are.
Yeah,
it is pretty bad down there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's sketchy.
It's funny because Hong Kong is at 41.
That's a prostitution.
But yeah, we're third. We're third, which I was kind of surprised about. Let me see if I can find out any more information as to why we're third, shall we?
You have the most porn parlors?
Stop it. Stop it. Isn't there an article here for this? There should be an article. Why is there not an article? They have this click it. Love timeout. No. Where's the article? Okay, there's no article. I don't. Well, there was one. I don't know where it is now. Forget it. Forget it. This has not gone as planned. My understanding, though, is they loved us best for food and for drinks. That we're that kind of city now, apparently.
After hours activities that they don't.
Well, I don't know about after hours activities, but yeah, we're so. Mike, you seem to think we had quite the show coming up today. What else we got?
So I'm now halfway through the MCU.
Oh, before we start, I do have to congratulate someone. I wish to congratulate Auburn University because according to CBS 42 in Birmingham, Auburn won the sex tournament.
The what tournament?
The sex tournament. You heard me.
Oh, my.
It was supposed to be, say, the SEC tournament. Apparently somebody spelled it wrong. But Auburn wins the sex tournament, which is...
Hooray! Put your hands together for Auburn.
Not only are they good at basketball, apparently they're very good in sex.
Whoops. Well, the letter C and the letter X are really close to each other on that keyboard. So
are they? Yes, they are.
They are.
Yeah.
What time of night did they type this up? What was going on there?
Odds on that person have been fired are pretty high, though, I would say.
Okay.
What? All right, Mike. I think we've covered enough time to get you where you need to go. Tell us about this
week's Marvel.
Yes.
I'm still doing the MCU right, and I've timed it right. I'm just 2 a week, and I'll be all done by the time we get to Endgame. So, like I said, I'm halfway through. So this week I watched Winter Soldier, and that was directed by the Russo brothers. So they got the plans ready for this. This was an important one. We know what Captain America's been doing while he's after Avengers. Just been training. We hear On Your Left, and we see Falcon. Well, you'd want to call him. He's Sam Wilson. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he visits old Peggy, and that had major feels there too. And then before that, we had that mission on that ship to get the Lumerian Star, where we had the terrorist from Algeria hijack a bunch of dudes, but actually it was Nick Fury who set it up because they need to extract some information from this ship or something. Like Natasha had her own mission, but it was lots of action in this film, man. And Robert Redford, this was a big deal because after the Avengers made a butt ton of money. But then bringing in Robert Redford, this highly seasoned Oscar-winning actor and highly regarded as the serious role And in the comic book movies, it did, I think, legitimized somewhat this comic book movie genre, which is in full steam now. We know that since we've had this Avengers movie, that these kinds of films aren't going away anytime soon, and they haven't. So having Redford in it, like I said, legitimized it somewhat. Now, I'm not much for political thrillers, but this movie really hit all the marks as far as just it wasn't just superheroes punching each other. I mean, this was really had real life intrigue and stuff. So it was awesome.
So a lot of meat on its bones.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And in the meanwhile, all the while we're getting some character development with Steve and Natasha and Nick.
So it brought everything to a direction.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a different kind of superhero movie. It's not just like bad guys show up and good guys, pop, sow, boom, done. In the final battle, cool. This one thing in the final battle with the Winter Soldier, when Winter Soldier throws a guy, he's on the deck of one of the helicarriers, and Winter Soldier, he's just cold-blooded killer. He throws the guy into one of the Quinjet rotors, and it just makes me flinch every single time I see it. Of course, you don't see anything because this is still PG-13. There's no
but the thought of it caressing your gray matter as you see it happening in front of your eyes, you can't ignore it.
And again, we're introduced to Agent 13, Sharon, who was hired by Nick Fury to watch him, and sure enough, they of course, we see her, I think, one more time in Civil War. Now, Nick Fury, he's having a discussion with, I think it was with Senator Pierce, when he says they're talking about the whole. Maybe it was. Anyway,
Gary Shandling in that movie too, isn't he?
Yeah, Gary Shandling is back as the jackass senator. He was seen last in Iron Man 2, and of course, Gary Shandling is the whole meme where he says "Hail Hydra." So, and Nick Fury says to Senator Pierce, "The last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye." Now we know, but the thing is that it was his powers of persuasion, I think, is part of that, where he's all like, he can use that to his advantage as far as it's like convincing people to see things from his point of view, I guess you want to say. It was very engaging, well paced, not just a good comic book movie, but it's great. It's in my top 5 of the MCU.
It's a good intrigue spy thriller.
Yeah.
They get that. They have that Tom Clancy, Patriot Games.
Yeah.
A little bit of the James Bond. I mean, not much, but they have
that in points.
It's there. It's all there, and that's kind of what makes that movie work. And what really makes that movie work is you create that, and then you don't deviate from Captain America being Captain America, and then you place him in that kind of world. Yeah. And by doing it, it makes the contrast work so well, because it's just not Captain America. I mean, he's a soldier at a time when there really isn't a war, and this is kind of what war looks like now in the 21st century.
Yeah.
So
how he's trying to fit in.
Right, he's trying to fit in. He's trying to do act like a good soldier, but really in reality, what he thinks is a good soldier is not what fits in today's world of where some of this stuff is all at. So yeah, I mean, I think that's what makes it interesting. To me, this is one of those movies where, if you're scrolling, if you're flipping channels on an afternoon or an evening and you're looking for something, and there have been a couple times where it's like it's 11:30 at night and I'm like, I should go to bed. Oh, look, Winter Soldier. Nope.
Yeah, there's a reason why. Go ahead, Ivan.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just had a question. Okay, so you're watching these all sequentially. Now,
in chronological order, not in order of their release.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, see, the thing is, I was going to say how, from one story, fits into the next. Does it one story fit into the next story, either entirely or elementally?
Yeah.
Or does it, or can the continuities be divided, and
a lot of these stand alone. A lot of these movies are good standalone movies, but that's why Infinity War is not as good, because you've had 18 films before it creating these characters and building these relationships. It's why you give a crap when Tony hesitates to call Steve before Ma shows up to take the time stone from Doctor Strange. I mean, that don't matter to nothing to nobody unless you've seen many of these films. Now I don't have to see all of them. I know people have missed like some of them, and then they see this one, they're like, well, I don't know what happened. Why is he friends with that guy? It was like, well, you didn't see that one before. So they are kind of intertwined, and they do rely on each other to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically, if you were to go sequentially within the framework of how these movies were released and such, okay, it just, in other words, on their own they stand on their own, but when they meet together, they're strengthened, and the understanding becomes more fluid. It becomes this one huge,
obviously,
storyboard.
It's like the soap opera, but with punching.
Oh, and kicking and things that explode, and wonderful weaponry and great costumes. Definitely my top 5 in the MCU. The post-credit scene, we see a Hydra base and we see Loki's scepter, and there's a couple of guys talking about now how S.H.I.E.L.D. has fallen because Hydra's infiltrated it. So, but he's like, S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, two sides of the same coin, no longer currency. But then we find out that not because they can't use Magneto, he's Fox, so Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are in it, but they are there as a result of the Mind Stone, not being part of, not related to Magneto. Okay.
Well, that may change, but as far as the narrative goes, this is how they experimented. These two kids experimented. Were experimented on because they volunteered, and that's how they got their powers in the MCU.
Okay.
Not because they were related to a mutant who they cannot show, because Disney don't own no X-Men yet.
Well, we'll get to that after you're done, because I wanted to talk about that today too.
Okay.
Well, we also have. Speaking of my next film, we have Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was my other one today, and I guess we'll get to James Gunn here after I'm done here.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah. So I wasn't when this came out, I wasn't real big on it, but I still enjoyed it. I just didn't think it was my favorite. So now, of course, in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, we see Atlas and Ronan from. Of course, I just seen him in Captain Marvel. And now being a first full scene with Thanos as well in this film. This first time we get a glimpse of him. Now he's wearing his armor, and he's kind of they changed a bit for Infinity War, but you can tell it's Thanos, and he's just a dude on the throne. He's just threatening Ronan or something, and that was it. So we didn't get all that big bad sense of him. We know all the comic book people like it, but to the plain ordinary listener or the plain ordinary viewer who might not know, who might not have known who Thanos is, he's just some dude sitting on a throne.
So Ronan's supposed to be working for Thanos, though, isn't he? Isn't that how it's supposed to be at that point? That Ronan's supposed to get the stone for Thanos and then screws him over?
Yeah, well, Ronan sent Atlas to the planet where Quill finds the Power Stone. That's the purple one for you, Ivan.
I know.
That's the purple one for a lot of people.
Yeah, for a lot of people. It's one of the Infinity Stones.
Yes, I know.
We know it's the Power Stone. But anyway, it's not named. This particular stone is not named in the film, so we know later on that it's the Power Stone. Thanos agrees to destroy Xandar because there's this peace treaty between the Kree Empire and and Nova, and
isn't it Xandarians? Are they the Xandarians, right? Or no?
No, they're Xandar is where the capital is Nova Prime. Right. Yeah. And based on this, and this is the first time I think we really get a glimpse of who the Kree are, and it still doesn't paint the Kree in a fair light, and not all the Kree are blue apparently, because we do get some obviously later on we see in the other one. But so comedy worked, music worked, seeing The Collector and Nowhere, Benicio del Toro, or was that the name? Is that one of the?
Yeah, that's who he is.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, I get him mixed up with the director, dude.
Shape of Water?
Yeah, Shape of Water guy. But one thing I didn't know until much later on, that the Collector and the Grand Master were brothers. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
We get our first full exposition of the Infinity Stones. Now, we heard about Infinity Stones at the end of, I think it was the Avengers, where they said the Infinity Stones were, it was after Thor 2, when they deliver the Infinity Stone to the Collector, the Reality Stone. So the Guardians all meet in a crazy mixed-up fashion. Cool Stan Lee cameo, Rocket berating him. He's what he was the credits listed him as Zandarian Ladies Man. He was talking to a young chick, and Rocket's with his binoculars saying, "Where's your wife, Grandpa?" You know. That's cute. So they all fight, and they get put in prison, but they break out, and they get their orb to Nowhere and the Collector, and he's trying to get his second Infinity Stone at this point. But then an explosion happens, and then Drax, being who he is, calls for Ronan because he wants revenge, and then another big fight scene comes out. And then there's this scene where Quill saves Gamora from dying in space, and it worked. It didn't have that much weight to it because you just met, and there's some chemistry there. There's a great scene with the Walkman where you hear "Fooled around and fell in love." Like I said, all the great music. I'm singing along while I'm watching the movie. All this great music came out of here. Yeah. But I wasn't bothered by the dance-off at the end. Some people I know, that pulls a lot of people out. You know, it's like, what are you doing?
Wow.
Yep. But it was cool.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah. The final battle was cool when we get to see him, Kraglin and Yondu. Of course, they're not likable yet, but I think that's what was the point. That was the goal of Guardians 2, is get you to love Yondu, and then he dies. And that's why I think the Guardians 2 is just way better.
I thought Mary Poppins died.
Yeah, Mary Poppins, yes. Mary Poppins, y'all. So Yondu and Kraglin, great, but then great setup for Guardians 2. Quill's not human. They find out, and then we find out that Yondu and Kraglin was going to deliver him to his dad. But like I said, the first Guardians was just meh for me, but because I love Guardians 2, I appreciate it more. I think I said for all these, it's part of a whole. Now I'm starting to get a greater appreciation for the ones I didn't care for as much. Like last week was Thor 2 and Iron Man 3, was pretty much towards the bottom end of my list. But I've appreciated a better appreciation for them now. And of course, the post-credit scene is just a Collector standing among the rubble of his once grand collection, and just Howard the Duck just saying something snarky to him. So, and we'll see Howard the Duck soon, I guess, for this new series coming. So
yeah, that'll be animated.
Yeah.
But see, for me, Guardians is one of my top favorites, and I loved it in the theaters. This is another example of where you do a movie, you put a movie in the right place when people are looking for movies, and it helps the movie along, which is, it had some buzz that maybe it could be interesting. People enjoyed it, and because it was in late August, yeah, it took off. It took off for most of the fall.
Yeah, it exceeded their expectations.
Oh yeah, by wildly. And it's Chris Pratt's breakout role. It's Dave Bautista, who had just come off being Batista on the WWE. It's his breakout role because, if it doesn't work, he's just another has-been wrestler who can't who's stuck as a wrestler. Now this guy is a legit actor because of this particular role. George Lucas made comment at the time that he thought it was, the closest, I shouldn't say, I don't remember if it was the closest thing or that he just really enjoyed it and really thought it reminded him a lot of Star Wars, which is high praise. But yeah, even at the beginning where Star-Lord is singing around, where he's got the lizard using him like a microphone. I mean, that's just hysterical.
Come and get your love.
Right. He's got the lizard, and he's using it like Mr. Microphone. And it's
that's right.
That stuff's good.
And then one more thing is when, like at the very end, the very beginning of the film, when you see him as a boy and he watches his mother die.
Yeah.
And then you almost forget about that. And then fast forward all the way to the very end where he's holding the Infinity Stone in his hand, and Gamora reaches out and says, "Take my hand, Peter." And all of a sudden he sees his mother on her deathbed saying, "Take my hand, Peter." I mean, it really sucks you back in and makes you care about these characters.
Well, it gives them girth. It gives them weight. When you get into that moment and you're just like, damn.
Yeah, just terrific storytelling. And like I said, Guardians 2. So next week is going to be even more fun, so I'm looking forward to it.
There's too much good stuff in Guardians. Like when they're in the prison and Rocket's telling them everything that they need, and then Quill comes back with the guy's leg.
And throws it on the console. He's like, "Oh, I didn't need that."
Yeah, I didn't need that. I didn't think you really get it. It's awesome. It's hysterical. Because later on, he's like, Rocket's in the same stuff. He's like, "I need for something else." He was like, "I need this, and I need this, and I need that guy's eye." And it's like, "No, you don't. You don't need that guy's eye."
I think it's the same eye that Baby Groot brings them when they're in a cage in 2.
Is it really? Okay. I didn't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that one. But yeah, I mean, there's that, and then the part in there where Rocket's going through the plan, and everybody's like, "Well, how are we going to get up there to deal with the thing?" And then Groot just walks over there and just does it. It's like, "But we have to do this very quickly because as soon as the alarm,"
that's we have to get last, and then that's the first thing.
Whatever we do, we should do that last. And Groot's like already done it, and it's like, now we do this the hard way. So many great character moments, some great lines. Yeah.
It's like we can't let him blow up the universe because I'm the one of idiots who lives in it.
Or it's like Batista's phenomenal in that thing too, where he's like, I can't remember what the one part is where he thinks that Quill actually has a plan. He's like, "You people are idiots," or something like that. But it's like, there's just way too many moments where it's like, yep. If anything, you know what it reminded me of? You're gonna laugh. It reminded me of every freaking role-playing game group I've ever been a part of. That is absolutely a bunch of freaking misfits and idiots that somehow saves the world. That's what they remind me of.
Yeah.
They're your Thursday night gaming group. That's what they are.
Okay, I can agree with that. I think I can.
That's what works about them.
So this Guardians 1 was co-written by James Gunn. Somebody else had written it with him. Now James wrote Guardians 2, and he wrote Guardians 3, and he's going to direct Guardians 3. And all these months of us talking about what's going to happen to Guardians 3? Who could replace James Gunn? Apparently, no one.
Well, the answer is James Gunn.
Yeah.
The answer is James Gunn. The answer is to replace James Gunn is James Gunn.
I just didn't think that it would have been this long. I think it would have been much longer for the dust to settle and after the whole thing about the inappropriate tweets.
Yeah.
That's what all it was about. It's just some crazy tweets that he made, some dumb jokes he made 12 years ago.
Right, and part of it was because, and keep in mind, that was at the same time with all the Roseanne stuff. The difference is just the Roseanne stuff was current.
Yeah.
Was mostly current. And the
Roseanne thing happened as it happened. This is something that happened over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Well, there were a couple of Roseanne things that they pulled out from a decade ago as well, too. But the difference is, the difference is Gunn kept his head down for the last I don't know, what do we call it, a year, 2 years?
Not even.
I don't know. No, it's been what, about maybe...
A few months.
No, it hasn't even been a year, has it?
No.
No, I don't think it's been a year.
Yeah, but he kept his head down. I'll tell you what I think helps. What helps is that Warner had no problem with putting him on the Suicide Squad. I think that helped.
Yeah, one thing about Suicide Squad 2 is that it will be a full reboot.
Yeah, I think they're not even calling it Suicide Squad 2. I think they're calling it The Suicide Squad so they can get around it.
Oh.
And basically reset up the whole thing. So, I mean, to me, this is James Gunn having his cake and eating it too in the end, because it's, okay, now he gets to play in the DC world and he gets to play in the Marvel world. And really in reality, if The Suicide Squad works out and it comes out to being a good movie and does well, James Gunn is going to be able to name his price.
Well, it seems like he's got all the toys in the playpen now, man. It's like, it's his game now.
I mean, he was pretty much going to be set over at Disney. You figure they were probably, here's my question, Mike. Do you think before all this happened that they were going to let James Gunn possibly do an Avengers movie or something like that?
It depends. I mean, we know where he works best. These are his characters. He's been with the Guardians since the first one. And I think he was like an executive producer on Infinity War because they involved the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. I think he still is on this one too. The next one that's coming out.
Yeah.
But think about this. There's going to be an there's going to be an Avengers 5 with an entirely new team. The Russos aren't going to want to do it. It's not like you're bringing back, well, who knows? I should never say never. I was going to say, it's not like you're bringing back Joss Whedon.
Right, because the game changes every other day.
Yeah, we got another press release this week, or last week, that Mark Ruffalo says he's done after this one.
Yeah, I think they're teasing around about that. I don't know.
You think that's just publicity?
I don't know.
Well, they keep getting mad because for a while, Mark Ruffalo kept, between him and Tom Holland, they kept spoiling everything.
Yeah.
Like in interviews all over the place.
Oh, yes, of course. Right after we recorded last week, guess what? We get another Endgame trailer.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. We got another Endgame trailer.
God, I've watched that every day since.
Yeah.
God,
you stop teasing me. Just give me my freaking movie.
5 weeks?
Not soon enough.
I know. That's when Captain Marvel was over. I said, "House lights up." I said, first thing I said to my friend, I said, "How many days till Endgame?"
Yeah, seriously. I'm with you 110% with that.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, but
I did buy my tickets for Shazam.
Yeah, I will definitely see Shazam. I don't know exactly when, but yeah, that'll be a definite. By the time this actually, by the time that we go to air, we will be living in a new era, gentlemen. The Fox Disney deal will be done.
Was it finished tomorrow?
The 20th at about 12-something in the morning.
Wow.
So come that day, Disney and Fox will have finally, after all this time, done their deal, and it will be done. So just so people are aware, and I'm using Wikipedia here because it was the easiest place to find the information. Okay, when this is over, what we know as Fox now, or what they're going to call New Fox, which would be named the Fox Corporation, will be the following: the Fox Broadcasting Company, which is the network channel, the Fox Television Stations Group, the Fox News Group, which is Fox News and the Fox Business Channel, the Fox Sports Media Group, which is Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, Fox Deportes, and the Big Ten Network. And then apparently they're leasing the Fox studio lot to Disney, but they'll own it. Assets to be divested, apparently something called Sky PLC. I guess this is Sky. Maybe this is the Sky Network, but apparently this is going to Comcast. The A&E networks in Europe that apparently must be sold. The Yes Network.
Lots of little minutia here. That's why it's taken months, years even, to finish this deal.
Yeah, apparently, the Yes Network, which is the Yankees network, was sold to Yankee Global Enterprises, Amazon, and the Sinclair Group. Let's see, something called Releasing Day Mexico. The Fox Sports Networks, regional networks, were to be acquired by Disney, but under the agreement, the Department of Justice must be sold to third parties within 90 days of completion of the formal closing main deal. So interesting. I don't know if that means by, well, wow, if they're really talking about it officially closes here coming up, then sometime in June. And then Fox Sports Latin America Disney is divesting from that, and I don't understand how that works. Here's what Disney's getting. 20th Century Fox, 20th Century Fox Animation, Fox Family, Fox Searchlight Pictures, Fox 2000 Pictures, Fox Studios Australia. From television, they're getting 20th Century Television, Fox 21 Television Studios, the FX Networks, FX Productions, National Geographic Partners, Fox Network Group International, which is for Fox Network Groups for Asia, Europe, Latin America, something called Blue Sky Studios, and Endemol Shine Group, I don't know what that is. They're now going to have 60% of Hulu, something called Star India, which I'm assuming is some sort of network in India, and something called Tata Sky, which they're only have 30%. But to me, the big thing on this is this. Think about what they have access to, and when I say that, I'm not talking, we'll get to the Marvel stuff. Think about all the other things they have access to.
Would it be safe to say they got like two-thirds of the pie as far as like actual communicable interest?
What is that, Ivan? What did you just ask?
I'm asking if the commercial, the whole commercial thing that they're getting out of this deal. So they basically, if it were like 100% of a pie, they got like 2/3 of it because this deal's so big.
I mean, if I'm understanding this correctly, let me give you perspective on this, okay? Things they now own. If I'm understanding this right, well, first of all, the most amusing thing is that, and I'm curious where this is going to go, they technically still have rights to the Batman, the 1966 Batman series. So Disney has access to this. They have access to the Green Hornet series from the 1960s.
Right.
They have MASH.
Right.
I mean, I'm just throwing out some old school stuff just to get you some perspective.
Okay.
Things like Empire, LA Law, 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
Obviously, The Simpsons. Think about this. The Simpsons is now in the Mickey Mouse family.
Okay.
I mean, wow. X-Files, NYPD Blue, King of the Hill,
I see what you're saying.
Steel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, they got a good size of the pie.
Family Guy.
A lot of good.
I mean, this is just TV. This is just TV. I'm not even talking about
all the movies.
We're talking about movies. We're talking about just TV. I'm like going through these things and going, the amount of content that they have grabbed is just nuts.
It's huge.
How many billions are this? How many $1 billion deal was this again?
I'm trying to remember. Hold on, I think it's here somewhere.
I want to say it was probably like 500 billion or something like that. I don't even know.
I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's that big.
I don't know, maybe. Maybe it was like...
No, it's not that big.
It was like 50 billion?
I think it's 71.
That's 71. That's still...
I'll still take it.
71 billion?
Yeah.
That's a huge chunk of change.
Right. And initially, 71.3.
Okay.
And they had to up their deal because at one point, I think it was Comcast. Comcast Universal NBC was bidding. And at one point it looked like that was going to be who was going to make the move because they made a $65 billion all cash proposal, which was better than what Disney had. Technically, even though it was lower, it was better because of the fact that it was all in cash. But yeah, I mean, just the amount of what is coming back to them is. I mean, think about this. They now own the FX networks. I mean, that's kind of crazy too. I mean.
They basically own the major studio, the independent studio, all of the television production houses, all the animation. You know, I mean, and of course not going into the movie pile, which I think 20th Century Fox goes all the way back to the 1920s, I think. You know.
Yeah.
Fox
Wow.
movie,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean.
Movie coming real. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're yeah. I mean,
yeah.
They.
That is a huge movie house of films. That's crazy. That's beguiling.
Yeah, I mean, to give perspective. I mean, to give perspective. I mean, let's start with the obvious, okay? Disney now owns. You know, Disney. Up until now, Disney has owned Episode 7, Episode 8, Rogue One, and Solo. They, as of Wednesday morning at midnight, they will own all of the Star Wars movies.
Okay.
All of them.
Yep, all of them.
Home Alone, Castaway, The Martian, Alvin. I don't know what their deal is with Alvin and the Chipmunks, Bohemian Rhapsody, Planet of the Apes, Titanic, Independence Day, Avatar. You know, you get the point.
I do.
There's a lot here. So I'll start with this. So here's where I was going with this, and this is why I was bringing this up. Let's have fun with this, gentlemen. You're in charge of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You're getting a clean slate right now to start after Endgame. The caveat, which means you get access to everything Marvel except the following. You can only use the Hulk in any movie where he is a guest star. You cannot have his own movie.
Yeah, I think those have been played out, though. I don't know if anyone would be able to make a good Hulk movie by its. Although Edward Norton did do good.
Right. Well, the point I'm getting at is you have that's the caveat where you can't make your own Hulk movie. Okay? And obviously, there's some issues with Spider-Man that we don't know. And we don't know where that working relationship is going to go after the contract is done.
I don't know. Is that going to be? Is that due to a licensing problem or just for film and?
Sony owns Spider-Man.
Okay.
Sony owns the right to Spider-Man for TV. There's something about where Marvel can do certain types of TV with Spider-Man. And I think they can do some animation, but otherwise, for the most part, yeah, that. So
it's addressed as a leasing deal, right?
Right. Sony has the rights to make Spider-Man stuff.
Okay.
That's not changing unless they ever sit there and go to Sony and go, all right, how much for Spider-Man? How much do we have to pony up to get the rights back entirely? And I think at that point they're going to sit there and be like, yeah.
I think that's a likelihood, though. You know?
You think so?
That could happen.
You think so? I don't know. But the point I'm getting at is, with those two caveats, you're in charge of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You now have back pretty much everything.
Okay.
What movies are you making?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Spider-Verse comes out on DVD tomorrow.
Well, no, you're going a different direction with it, Mike.
Oh, no, we were talking about Spider-Man, so that was just Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's good, though.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have you have pretty much to your hands everything in Marvel. What movies are you making?
We fixed the Fantastic fucking Four.
Okay.
That's the first thing we do. We know we can do good X-Men movies. Give the X-Men a rest. We're fixing the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
All right.
How would you fix the Fantastic Four?
Yes.
I don't know. It needs an origin story or not. Maybe do like another. I don't know. Whether it be with whoever, with one of the main Avengers that are left after Endgame, have them like guest star or something like that. They don't need another. We don't need another Fantastic Four origin film. We don't need a standalone adventure for them, but we need to integrate them into the MCU. And I think the best way to do it would be to introduce them the same way you introduced Black Panther. And have them as a side character in one of the big films with an ensemble cast, and maybe if that gels, then they can have an adventure together.
Mm-hmm. But
not an origin.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, the problem is with the Fantastic Four, you're talking about 4. You're not versus Black Panther, where you're really talking about 1. And it's harder that how you're going to bring in 4 as a guest star. I don't know. I'm with you. I think that there's
Will you start with Reed Richards and then you bring the other 3 in, like for the final battle at the end or something? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's the priority, is that you need to fix the Fantastic Four.
See, the irony is you fix the Fantastic Four, and one of the reasons I think you fix the Fantastic Four is you're losing Robert Downey as Iron Man, okay?
Maybe. We don't know yet.
Well, it seems
maybe he's going to retire. Maybe he's not going to die. We'll find out.
Well, the point being is, right now he's off of a contract. The point is he's off of a contract. You need somebody that has that kind of level, and Reed Richards can be that guy. Although he doesn't have the bravado of Tony Stark, but Reed Richards is the kind of guy that you could. That people come around because he's a freaking genius. So to me, yeah, you need somebody who can pull that off. I don't know off the top of my head who that is at the moment. But I would bet that they've been looking at what they're planning on doing with the Fantastic Four, because now that they have ability with some of those villains. I mean, let's go there. Let me try that for you, Mike. Now that because I saw something today where Feige is calling this set of movies the Infinity Saga. Where are you going with your next big bad?
Maybe.
Or Ivan, where are you going with your next big bad? Who would you use? You pretty much have access to most of almost anybody.
So, man, that's a loaded question, man. There's just so many good ones.
Okay. Too hard?
You might have to get back to me on that one.
What about you, Mike?
Well, let's see. Maybe, obviously, I don't know about Dr. Doom. Maybe find a way to bring back Red Skull.
Okay.
We already had Apocalypse, and I don't know. You know what? I haven't seen all of Apocalypse. Maybe they do not Kang. They do Kang. I said Tang. Tang, not Kang. Kang. They do Kang correctly.
Maybe. I feel like I think Doom's an obvious one because you can make that as an overarching over multiple movies over different characters because he's got that kind of ability. I'd love if in fairness to me, if you're going to reboot Captain America and you're going to not have Chris Evans, I think the most interesting idea to me would be if you started back in the 40s where maybe Captain America teams up with, say, your new Wolverine to liberate a concentration camp, which just so happens to have Magneto in it. And then have it be where they go off their separate ways, and then you could relaunch them for years later when they run into each other again at some point. I think that'd be an interesting idea, but that's just me.
Here's my thought on this, guys. Because we're all talking about all these ideas, and what is the least utilized character, but still has charisma and still has an appeal?
In Marvel? That's hard for me in Marvel. I'm not as versed in Marvel.
Well, ones that haven't been used yet. Maybe Annihilus?
Yes, there you go. See, now you know where I'm going.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And some of these have already been one and done, kind of used already. Like Dormammu might have been more interesting, but we had him in Doctor Strange, and that didn't kind of.
But I don't think that'll. I don't think I can't. You know what I mean.
He's come to bargain.
Right, but I don't think that's done. I think that's a villain that could continue to come back.
Yeah, we could go back to that maybe if we get it. Well, I think we're going to get Doctor Strange too. We'll see.
Yeah, we are. I think we are. I know Mordo is definitely a high-level villain.
Maybe if done right, maybe MODOK. I don't know.
Yeah, but
MODOK's kind of funny.
On the animated.
Big head, tiny legs, arms and legs. I don't know.
I mean, Magneto could be interesting, but again.
Yeah, because I know you guys talk a lot about Magneto, and I'm thinking, hasn't Magneto has his own individualistic storyline? Has he ever been his own featured thing?
But as we get further and further away from the 40s and 30s, it's kind of hard to, because it worked in the same, like Sir Ian McKellen was Magneto, and his past dealt with what happened with his family in Europe. Now, as we get further away from that, we need to change the origin story of Magneto. Has that even been thought about? I mean, is there anybody picking up the torch? As it were said, I
don't know. Well, do you
think Magneto would be something that you can conceptualize in the now day?
You could, but here's the thing. I think that's one of the reasons why I mentioned about you could still go with where Magneto is with certain things because you could play off of the fact about Captain America.
Okay.
And that's why I was like, that'd be an interesting way to reboot all three characters. Because
Captain America gets a cheat because he gets frozen.
Right. And obviously Wolverine doesn't die.
Yeah.
So, those two characters, you got no problem with it. I don't. Like I said, to me, I will say the one thing that has me intrigued is now that you have pretty much everybody, and I can't imagine you couldn't work out a deal with Sony if you wanted to do Secret Wars and bring in the Beyonder. I mean, because at some point Galactus is coming. I mean, that just has to be a storyline that's coming.
Yeah, I guess he'd be the next big. Well, he's obviously big, but he'd be big bad.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're going with that, Mike. That's why I think Doom's a better overarching villain. I think Galactus is somebody where it's like he's out there, but he's a different type of villain. Like I said, the only reason I brought this up is I thought it might be fun with, okay, what kind of movies would we want to see? I mean, what characters would we want to see? What combinations? I mean, like, for example, back in the early 2000s, Brian Bendis kind of changed how people look at the Avengers. Some people are still mad about this to this day, that they went more Justice League style with their Avengers, and the fact that, if you look at some of the older Avenger teams, a lot of those guys the power levels were amazing, but the popularity was like they were C-level characters. A lot of them. So they went and got, they brought in more popular characters. They finally put Spider-Man in the book. They put Wolverine in the book. Because why aren't we putting our most popular characters in our biggest team? And suddenly the book's selling almost 250,000 pieces. I don't know. Like I said, to me, it's going to be a huge deal. I'm curious what they'll do with Deadpool.
Deadpool is a very popular property. I'm sure they're going to expound on that. I'm sure there's going to be another movie or even couple of movies out with Deadpool before this is done,
We need to wait until after the merger, and then we'll find out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I thought we could play God for a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
I think let the Avengers continue. It'd be interesting to see if Captain America returns as either from Bucky or Sam take over. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Or if someone else would take the reins as Iron Man.
And there you go.
But yeah, it's excited to see another Avengers with a mostly new lineup.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh.
Well, yeah, and that's. I think it's going to be interesting because.
There are teams that are iconic and have gone through they've gone through the sands of time, and then you got teams that are just they come in and then they have a shelf life year, 2 year, 3 years, and then you change them all up again. Do you think we've become that sensibility in comic books and or movies?
Well, comic books, they've changed up teams to look different. Like I mentioned to you, in the early 2000s, suddenly Luke Cage, Wolverine, and Spider-Man are all in the Avengers. They were never regular members of the Avengers. I mean, that wasn't the case,
So they have cross-character. Okay.
Right. I mean, and Ivan, to give perspective, and Mike, I think you might be aware of this too. I mean, people were upset. People were upset. They were like, what do you mean no Hawkeye? What do you mean no this character? What do you mean no that character?
Well, as far as books go, X-Men has always been taking precedence over the Avengers.
Yeah. Well, and
it wasn't until Disney and Disney started making these movies, then people started really paying attention to the Avengers. Well, the X-Men were mostly where the meat and potatoes was as far as the books go.
Right. Well, X-Men, you're right. X-Men has always been more popular. Part of the reason is for exactly part of the reason what I'm talking about, which is and this is kind of the conversation that happened in the early 2000s, which is, okay, why is Avengers not as popular as X-Men? And you sit down and you look at it and sorry, I'm not interested in a book with Quasar, or I like Hercules, but he's not a character that you're going to get people to go, ooh, I want to see that. And Bendis had a good point, which is, all right, who are your most popular characters? Why are they not in your Avengers book? And there's a part of it where it's like, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous? Ask the Justice League how that works. Okay. There's a reason why the Justice League has always been more popular than the Avengers, which is, look, here are our top-selling 7 heroes. Oh, look, they're all in a book together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
that's part of the problem that the Avengers have had for a long time is yeah, you need, you know, I mean, and what people forget is, and Mike, you can attest to this, up until recently, how popular were Captain America and Iron Man? And Thor.
Yeah, marginal.
I mean, that's why it's funny, you know, that's why when you look at some of these movies for Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man, we talk about roast galleries and like, where are they?
Uh-huh.
Because truth is,
those
characters don't have big roast galleries.
When I brought up Iron Man 3 last week, it's like,
right.
Yeah, it's like
the roast galleries
they don't compare.
Right. Versus, say, I mean, that's kind of where it's kind of amusing is, they lost the See, this is where Fantastic Four comes in huge. Because you lost the Fantastic Four. Well, okay, when you lost the Fantastic Four, you lost the following. You lost the Silver Surfer. You lost Galactus, which to that point, you have all of Galactus' heralds, which means you lost all those. You technically lost Namor. Okay, so you can't do anything with Atlanteans or Atlantis. Okay, you lost. I mean, I was kind of surprised that Skrulls were able to exist in the Marvel MCU without Fantastic Four. Although I bet there might have been some finagling for that. But
might have been the reason for their personality change. How they were portrayed.
Probably, maybe. But
I think they're just. Like I said, I'm not ruling out a Secret Invasion movie yet. I think that's.
I'm not either.
Later down the line, we'll get a Super Skrull, and we'll get a Secret Invasion done proper eventually. I think. I hope.
Yeah. No, I agree.
We can always hope for that.
You know, I'm trying to. The real trick is I'm trying to think of who. Off the top of my head, part of the problem is it's like, all right, who do I want to see Marvel try to make a movie with that is an interesting character that I think, like, for example, the problem is, like, Daredevil, they're probably going to make Daredevil, they're probably going to put on Hulu for TV. It sounds like they might do the same with Luke Cage and Iron Fist and with Jessica Jones. Never mind, to me, I think you could do Heroes for Hire with Luke Cage and Iron Fist and put it as a movie, and I think people would watch it.
I think so. Yeah, if they do it right, maybe get a proper Defenders movie. Or
in fairness, I think you could. I'm of the minority. I still think you could figure out a way to put Daredevil on the big screen, and I think it'd be great. You know, and that's the funny part is that you could do some interesting stuff because you technically have access to Kingpin somehow, which is crazy because he's a Spider-Man villain. Mm. But, you know, you could, you know, if you did a bunch of city-level heroes, you could build around and create a city-level storyline where there's something with Kingpin, where you could build to something interesting. You could do it.
Yeah. But once Endgame is done and we get this deal signed, well, obviously we're going to get Doctor Strange 2. We're getting, obviously, Spider-Man 2, the Far From Home. Then we'll get sequels to Doctor Strange, Black Panther, maybe another Captain Marvel, maybe a new Captain America with however form Captain America is taken. And then after that, obviously, we're going to get Guardians 3 into there, too. And then we'll get the next Avengers film, hopefully in 2022 or something like that.
Boy, I tell you, it's a really exciting roster of movies.
And it's an awesome time to be a comic book fan.
Yeah, man. No, like I said, you'll get a kick out of this. So the one movie channel that I own, that I have in the house, is Starz. Guess what? By the end of March, is now going to be regular for me to be able to see anytime I feel like it on Starz.
Justice League.
No.
Yay. No.
No. I wish it was Justice League rather than this movie.
Oh, no, not the eat your head guy.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Oh, what? Venom is coming to Starz. on March 30th.
Congratulations.
Which means that it'll be on a million times a week. And I'm like, oh, God, no, really?
Well, just set that channel on block.
Well, I'm paying extra for that channel. I just can't stay for extra. No way. I'm thinking like we watched Spider-Man Homecoming 50 million times on, for some strange reason. But, maybe I'll give it one more try. What am I saying? I eat your head. Shut up. I don't know if you... Speaking of nostalgia, though, I guess ABC this summer...
Gesundheit, Ivan.
Thank you.
I think that's the name of our show.
Ivan still fighting that cold?
Yep.
Just a little one. Working it out.
Got to get a mute button on him.
Sorry.
Sneeze button.
How come you haven't gotten chicken soup yet?
I've had enough chicken soup to fill in a chicken, man.
Oh, well.
I'm chicken down.
Yeah. More like chicken than this soup.
Soup.
But I guess this summer,
Gesundheit.
Listen.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Jeff, start over.
Sorry, go ahead.
So ABC is bringing back this summer two old school game shows. One of them is Card Sharks.
Okay. And
the other is one that I'm kind of a fan of. I don't know if you were, Mike. Press Your Luck.
Oh yeah.
They're doing a brand new Press Your Luck.
It's long overdue. Big bucks, no whammies, man.
Oh, dude, I am so psyched.
Yep.
That, if you were a kid growing up in the 80s, that was your show.
Yeah. And some of the 80s, like the trivia questions were interesting, but obviously everyone's waiting for the whammy to show up and take everybody's money and you see the funny animations.
Oh, Press Your Luck?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're making a new one, Ivan. ABC's going to do a new Press Your Luck.
Oh, okay. Yes. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm okay. Well, it's funny. Game Show Network had one for a while, but it was, Game Show Network. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, nobody watched it.
Yeah, we got Bug on Free Channel, and they got the old versions of Press Your Luck.
Every so often, they'll still run the one where the guy basically figured out the pattern. You guys have heard that story, right?
Yeah.
About the one guy who actually figured out the Press Your Luck pattern. And God, his story is sad, really sad. It's like he did all happened. It's like a really sad story.
I think we talked about that one episode. Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ivan was talking. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. But I think we talked about that. I think we talked about that one episode.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought I'd bring it up because it's like I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what they do and how they do it.
Yeah, how they crack the code.
That's a show that if you were a kid growing up in the 80s, I mean, there are a lot of people that were like, oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
So
summer vacations in the weekday mornings, the networks would run the game shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd watch them with my grandma. And then when the soap operas came on, that's when I went outside to play.
Well, Stefano DiMera was on.
Yeah, I did my fair share of watching those game shows, on television in the 70s. Because, 70s had a lot of really, really good television. Late 60s had some really great television.
Yeah.
But yeah, watching, you watched that Sullivan, you watched Ronan Martin's Laughing. That was always big viewing in our house.
What game shows do you like to watch?
Well, let me see. There was Beat the Clock. There was Name That Tune. There was The Reel Game, which they used to use motion picture reel footage, for their questions, guessing what movie it was or what part of the movie it was in, that type of thing. Jeopardy, I was a big Jeopardy guy. Still am a big Jeopardy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, kudos to Alex. Healing vibes to you, my man. You're going through a bad time, so this one's for you. And, it's, what else was there? The $10,000 pyramid. I used to like that too. There used to be a show though. It was called It's Academic, which I used to like a lot. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I never heard of that one.
No, that one I don't know.
Yeah, okay. It's Academic. They used to have the high school and the colleges, kind of like a debate team style type thing, where, they would ask all kinds of questions and it was teamwork and that type of thing, Learned a lot of stuff, Yeah, it's Academic.
So they're bringing back Press Your Luck and Card Sharks. I wasn't big on Card Sharks. So what? So Jeff, what 2 game shows would you bring back?
Oh, Press Your Luck is one.
Well, you can't. You got to pick another one because it's already been. It's already being revived.
Right. Okay.
You get 2 game shows. You can bring back any era.
Okay.
Well, which 2 would you bring back, Jeff?
That's a good. Wow.
I know.
Hollywood Square. Maybe Hollywood Squares. We haven't had. Or you know what? Can I get the? Hollywood Squares. Hollywood Squares is one.
That's a
but
good
I
one.
want it hosted by Snoop Dogg.
Isn't Snoop Dogg doing the Joker's Wild?
He is.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked that show growing up.
And I think I don't remember if it was MTV or VH1 which was doing hip hop squares, where it was all like the hip hop artists and doing like a Hollywood Squares thing.
That could be good. Yep.
It was phenomenal. And if anything, it's like I'd like that revived and put on a regular TV station because I'd be all over that.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
Like I'll take Coolio for the block. So Hollywood Squares / hip hop squares.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sleek.
I gotta think. I like Sail the Century.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of something better. But go ahead. What else you got? What do you got, Ivan?
Okay. Well, I would like to bring Beat the Clock back, which I used to love. Beat the Clock. Having these people do things in a certain time frame, for prizes and stuff. And then, let's see, Let's Make a Deal.
Wayne Brady's doing that.
Oh, that's right. He is doing that.
That's great. He's doing a great job in that show.
I know. I love Let's Make a Deal. And then, of course, Whose Line Is It Anyway? They brought that back out again. Let's see. What would be another one? Ooh, well, then I guess it would have to be Name That Tune.
Okay.
I would love Name That Tune.
Oh, can I change my answer?
Name that in 2 notes.
Can I change my answer from Sail the Century? I do know what I want. I want Password back.
Oh, that's a good one.
I want Password back.
Okay, Password would be cool.
Yeah, I want Password back. That'd be one. What about you, Mike?
My 2 would be Tic Tac Doe. I missed that show with Wink Martindale.
Okay.
I love Tic Tac Doe. Now, The Joker's Wild, I've not seen the Snoop Dogg remake of The Joker's Wild, but I really like that show. But the other one, Password's a good one. And Family Feud is just, that's
already out. Yeah, I know.
That's from Steve Harvey.
I mean, everybody's got a piece of that.
I guess it would have to be Scrabble. I missed like a word game kind of thing. Like Chuck Woolery, I think, was the host of Scrabble.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so I guess bring back Scrabble and Tic Tac Doe. Those would be my 2.
There's a game show. My mom swears by Game Show Network. There's one that's on there. It's new. It's a new one, and it's similar to Family Feud, but it's a little bit different. Called America Says, and it's the guy who plays the male commentator on Pitch Perfect. I can't remember his name, but he's funny. And it's a good show. I enjoy it. I'd like to see that get more prime time, but that's just me.
Or Remote Control.
Yeah, that'd be good.
They do that right. Because a lot of TV stuff now, too. I mean, including cable.
Mm-hmm.
I think the categories would be good in that. in this age of binge watching and all that, I think we could.
Well, yeah.
We could, maybe that'd be an honorable mention, or just I'll swap out Scrabble with remote control.
I wouldn't mind seeing. At one point they specialized Jeopardies. I wouldn't mind seeing like Sports Jeopardy or Music Jeopardy or something like that.
Oh, that would be good.
Because I know that they had them for a while.
Oh, that's right. It was Comedy Central. It was either Comedy Central, but there was a show called Beat the Geeks.
Oh, there's that. I thought you were going to win Ben Stein's money.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Make Me Laugh would be interesting.
Make Me Laugh.
That'd be a good way to bring in new young comics to do it. That'd be interesting. That could be fun.
Let me see.
We got all these talent show games. No, they're not like game. They're kind of like game shows, but these reality shows.
Yeah,
it's all like dancing competitions and singing competitions. And
I think all that stuff's kind of getting played out.
These crazy talent shows.
Yeah, you can only do so much.
Like I don't know anybody who's watching the new American Idol.
Then somebody's got to be watching it because they're still on. I was kind of surprised by that, but
I think that's they're dragging a corpse on that thing.
Yeah, I
don't know.
Right.
I have no idea. I haven't looked at it. Hold on. We haven't done this at all today, so we'll do it now. I'll check and see if I can find American Idol ratings.
Yeah, because I'm like, I watched a little of it the other day, and I'm just like, okay. The excitement's gone. It's like,
I think we talked about this 1 or 2 weeks ago, where as I said,
yeah.
I said it wasn't the same when Simon left.
Yeah, you're right, and you're right.
Huh? We're sitting here talking about nobody's watching that show, right? Nobody's watching it.
Nobody I know.
And yet, according to Hollywood, according to everything I'm looking at right now, ABC grabs third straight Sunday win amongst adults 18 to 49 with American Idol.
Oh, good on them.
Well, hey.
Yeah, I'm not totally shocked by that.
Yeah, but it's just watching the same thing year after year after year after year after year, and then of course you find out the demise of a lot of these people who they're supposed to advance their careers, but then you don't ever hear of them again after a time. It's like it seems a bit discouraging, don't you think?
I don't know.
We've only got like a handful who we know of. Like we got Kelly Clarkson, and of course, obviously Carrie Underwood.
Right.
And then what's her name? Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson, yeah.
And she,
Okay. 3.
But
what's his name? Oh, what's his name? The guy who's now fronting Queen.
Oh, Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all the other ones.
Yeah, Fantasia.
Maybe Daughtry.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I do
David
feel
Cook.
like in the later years it's gotten to where it's like, okay. But then again, I don't know. I haven't been checking. I mean, I've been listening to more popular music than you guys have, but then I wouldn't know because I'm not watching American Idol. So for all I know, maybe there have been a few people who.
I listen to new music. I mean, locally grown new music, but
but that's not. If there was a new American Idol artist that was hot, I don't know if you'd know. Would you?
No, not really.
Right.
I really haven't paid. I haven't paid that kind of attention anymore.
Right.
I mean, what like Mike said, once Simon left, it was like, okay.
Although I did see a little bit of Katy Perry, and if Katy Perry's sexy, ditzy, fun, that might not be too bad. I don't know. Again, I'm not watching, so I haven't watched American Idol in a long time, and that was even when Simon still had it. When I saw Simon, I just
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne was never on that show.
No, I know she was. I was just
dude, come on now.
You know about Avril Lavigne?
I'm aware of her. I know certain things about her, but not everything. I know wasn't at one point she going out with Carson Daly?
No.
Okay. Maybe.
Carson Daly, what's up with Carson Daly?
Isn't she the one who, married her manager and then they divorced and stuff like that?
Oh, man, you're going to make me go look up Avril Lavigne. Okay.
You're going to make me look up Avril Lavigne. That's the worst thing I can do to somebody.
Yeah, well.
Oh, come on, man. I'm just jiving,
I remember my niece, when Avril Lavigne was, new, and she had that one song that was on the radio, Complicated.
I was going to say, why you got to make things so complicated, Ivan?
Why you
got to do that?
You did the complicated thing. Yeah. My niece had one of her posters up on the wall, and she had, all this, she was just scary looking. Just going all dark.
Complicated. Hold on. You know who she had a relationship with for a while?
Who? Ooh.
Everyone's favorite band. Chad. She was dating Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, she's done now. They broke up in 2015.
Oh.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. There's Nickelback. Nickelback is one of those ones where everybody's like, you either love them or you hate them.
I mean, there just needs to be a lot of Nickelback type, humor, both good and bad out there. It's like, it's easy to make fun of.
Yeah, well, because supposedly it's not memorable 90s pop, so I don't know that I buy that, but the numbers say otherwise. But
wow.
Is it that time?
Yes, we're 2 hours in, so.
All right.
Just about 2 hours.
All right, we're going to start here because it's important that we know our rights. A federal appeals court in Michigan has upheld our constitutional rights, Ivan. They upheld a woman's constitutional rights because it was violated. It was violated when she got a speeding ticket. And she got a second ticket. And you know what she got a second ticket for, Ivan?
What?
Giving the cop the finger. Federal appeals court has said that constitutional rights were violated by...
Cop? She flicked off the cop?
Wait, he gave her a ticket, and the federal appeals court in Michigan said that she should have been allowed to do that for freedom of speech and rescinded the ticket.
Oh, yeah! All right.
So if you deal with a cop, so the law of the land is real simple now. I believe the court said that Taylor Officer Matthew Menard, quote, should have known better, even if the driver was rude. It was a 3-0 decision by the court.
Yeah. All right.
So
now it's going to be a free-for-all, man.
Well, you know how this is going to work. It's going to be something like they're going to find some other excuse to give you.
They're going to find a loophole somewhere.
They'll find a loophole. That's what they do. All right. I'm sure Mike's got stuff, because I'm sure
you got
Scott had a few things.
Yes, we appreciate you, our listener, Scott, for bringing these into us.
Mr. Brown.
We appreciate it.
You're a good guy.
Here's one from
Mr. Scott.
This is from Scott from another Q104 iHeartRadio.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling can be very difficult. There are so many things to remember, from your toothbrush to your charger, and on top of that you're rushing to make what you get to the airport with plenty of time. With everything going on, you're bound to forget something, either at home or at the terminal. Plenty of people leave behind bags, laptops, books, phones, and all that stuff. But when one woman forgot her baby,
what?
They had to turn the plane around.
Oh my gosh!
She was on a flight on a flight from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, when she alerted the cabin crew that she had left her baby at the airport.
Wow!
Does it say how far they were from the airport when this happened?
I'm reading. So obviously they were in the air. But the crew told the pilot who radioed in the shocking story to the tower. The audio from that conversation has been posted to social media, and in it the pilot explains in Arabic and English what is going on, asking for permission to return to the airport. Some stories say the plane had already taken off, while others state it was just taxiing. But unsure they heard right, the air traffic controller asks the pilot to repeat himself and says, "One passenger forgot her baby in the terminal. She refuses to continue the flight," adding, "May God be with us. Can we come back or what?"
Wow.
Having never been in a situation like this, the operator had to ask a colleague what to do and can be overheard saying, "The flight is requesting to come back. A passenger forgot her baby in the waiting area. The poor thing."
Wow.
They allowed the plane to return, telling the flight deck, "Okay, head back to the gate. This is a totally new one for us." The mother and her baby were reunited, but there's no word on how she could have left the child behind without noticing for so long. Maybe because she's a terrible parent.
Yeah, you would think.
Look at that. Think about this.
How'd you want to be on that plane?
What did you think about? You forgot your bit. Where the fuck was your head at? What?
No. Let's put this in perspective, gentlemen. You're on the plane. Let's assume we were halfway there, and all of a sudden they're going to turn the plane around because some woman forgot her baby.
Yeah.
Imagine you're stuck on that. Imagine the flight is what? I don't know. Got to be like 8 hours at least, right?
Well, from Saudi Arabia to Malaysia, so that's across Southeast Asia.
That's a good size.
That's a long ass flight.
That's a long ass flight, and now I got to go back.
That's across the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. Now I got to go back and do it again? Oh, man. No way.
Well,
no way.
She's getting the stink eye all the way back.
Oh my God, no. Hell no.
And they're all saying "fuck you" in their own language too.
Mm-hmm. In every language.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's why I'm probably never gonna fly ever again.
And by the way, the air marshal, not the same as a cop. You can't give him the finger.
But the lady who forgets her baby, I'm giving her the finger.
Yeah.
What you got, Jeff?
Too.
Well, so this is from boldE.com. Men enjoy sex with mentally unstable women more, study finds.
What? One more time?
Men enjoy sex with mentally unstable women more. There's a new study that says this.
Okay.
While no woman tends to fall into the crazy girlfriend role, it happens. We lose our heads over guys we like and do stuff we wouldn't generally entertain when we were in our right mind. Plus, even if we're even-keeled about our relationships, mental health struggles are real, and things happen in life sometimes to compromise our equilibrium. That's not a bad thing for guys, since many men like having sex with women who are a little unstable.
Yeah, or have wicked sense of humor that do things to you that they know is wrong.
There's something to be said about it. This is a new study. This new study from the Journal of Sex Research. I didn't even know they had a journal for sex research. My God, I want to read this.
Okay.
They discovered. We need to find this, Ivan. We need to find the Journal of Sex Research.
Yes, I agree. We need to find this damn.
Jeff will open the book and flip right to the pictures.
Oh, absolutely. I want to find the page with the Kama Sutra. It's discovered that guys with partners who had less than emotional stability reported better sexual function, while a lower agreeableness of sexual partner was predictive of better sexual function in women.
Mm-hmm.
It says, of course, you have to find a good guy too. The study also found that men who were thorough and dutiful may feel the need to satisfy their partner sexually, which may in turn may lead to better sexual function of their partners. If it's not clear if this is true across the board. All participants had an average age of 51, and all of them have been committed relationships for an average of 24 years. While these statistics may differ, were the study done predominantly on millennials, the results are pretty troubling for multiple reasons. The main one being the implications about men's approach to their partner's problems. Apparently there's a whole big thing here about all the different things about this is on boldwithane.com. This has got to be a women's thing, but I did find it and I thought it was kind of amusing. That apparently,
here's okay. Have we all had any such wicked stories with any women we've ever been out with?
Well, I tell you, my ex-girlfriend, she never talked to about her therapy sessions. She went to therapy the whole time and never really talked about her therapy sessions. But she was seeing a shrink. And I must say, we had a good time.
Yeah. All
right. Yeah, I will admit that there have been some women who are special kind of crazy that have been no question that there's some truth to this.
No, it does have gravity, okay? It does. I mean, I've had a few crazy adventures out of doors in strange places, and yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Out of her mind and did me blind. I'll tell you what a time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the real trick is, did you respect her in the morning?
Well, yes, of course you do. You know, I mean, you want to keep a good thing going, don't you? You know?
Yeah. Depends on how psycho she is.
Do right by your partner. Your partner will do right by you.
It just depends how unstable she is.
Okay, yeah, depending on how demented she can be. Okay.
Yeah. Like if you wake up in the morning and she's sitting there sharpening knives, no.
Well, I mean, there's the point of it. There's the point of it. How sexy do you think you want it? You know, can you imagine if she's like on top and looking down at you, and you know, you have the choice of, whatever the situation is going to present itself at that moment, and it could get very dangerous.
Yeah, before or after she made rabbit stew.
Yeah, really, seriously. This is the reason why. See, this is why I've had this conversation with women when we talked about kinky sex, and I told women, I'm like, you will never get me tied up. We better be engaged or married. That is the only way you are tying me up. Because
you have trust issues, Jeff.
No, man.
No. Oh, no. I am not dumb enough. I've seen enough movies. I know what the hell. I've heard stories from people. I am not dumb enough.
But, Jeff, you're strong like bull. You just break the headboard when she handcuffs you to the headboard.
Okay. That's not painful.
Oh, I've been handcuffed. Okay, yeah, and yes, I can understand your out of control feeling, Jeff. Okay, it's
I have heard stories. I knew a guy who.
I've been there one time, dude. Never wanted
I heard a story from somebody who, how can I say, he liked to get kinky with escorts, and you know, payment was supposed to be one thing, and payment was quite different once he was
handcuffed.
He was handcuffed.
Yep.
And you know, the best is she fucking left him there on the goddamn bed, stuck.
Oh shit!
Took his shit and left. Not like he had a way to call or anything.
Yeah.
The cleaning woman found him the next morning.
Yeah. You get some women. Yeah. You get some fucking women, man, that, you know what? I mean, you know, you can sit there, but you know what? If they're in a mode of thinking about it, that's when you got to be the most careful, man.
Yeah. Okay? Watch where you put your wee-wee. All right, guys, we got to move along. We got a lot of stories to cover.
Okay.
Go for it, man.
Okay. A Virginia woman was arrested after an officer found her staggering down the street carrying a suitcase full of cats.
Why?
43-year-old Shanna Hallwager told the officer that she was bringing the cats to a shelter run by the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. The deputy wrote in his arrest report that he smelled alcohol on Hallwager's breath, and he noticed that she had bloodshot eyes and was slurring her speech. He took her into custody for public intoxication and brought her to the regional jail, where she was held until she sobered up. The cats were given to the Stafford County Animal Control. Hallwager was arrested again the following night after the same officer found her flailing her arms in the middle of the road. She was taken back to jail and released after she sobered up. But suitcase full of cats, drunk, in the middle of the street. Just walking down the street carrying a suitcase full of cats. You never know.
So she had a suitcase full of pussy. Sorry, I've been saving that one for a few minutes now.
So much pussy.
So much pussy.
Oh, we're just talking about cats.
A case of pussy.
Just talking about cats. Oh.
Yeah.
What are you, dirty people? Okay, Jeff, what you got next?
Well, a Florida woman claims demons told her to steal a rental car. This happened in Jacksonville, Florida. A 23-year-old appeared in court Friday morning on car theft charges with bond set at about $15,000 after she stole a Toyota RAV4 from Ace Rent-A-Car. She was found a mile away hiding in a hotel. She told a police station, "Demons told me to do it. I didn't do it. The demons took it." She continued, "I tried to rent it, but y'all didn't want to rent me a car. Y'all talking about how y'all didn't have any cars to rent, so I stole y'all." Excellent. They found her hiding in a hotel room, and when they eventually got to her hotel room, they handcuffed her and put her in a patrol car. When she appeared in court, she was wearing a red jumpsuit, indicating she required extra special attention in jail. Her prior arrest record includes trespassing, resisting police, theft of firearm, battery for a law enforcement officer, and, of course, let me guess, the demons told you. The demons did it, right?
Wow.
That's the part where if you can make your head spin, it might work.
Crazy.
Okay.
She's the mentally unstable woman that you get great sex with.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, that is not the woman when you want to do that with.
No, but I bet you would. Good sex.
I saw a picture, not really.
You want perfect sex.
Case full of cats instead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Company.
What do you got, Mike?
I have this one's from Dipley. The company is making a bootylicious pillow that's perfect for napping and slapping.
Okay.
So it's a pillow shaped like the posterior view of Kim Kardashian in yoga pants. I mean, imagine those contours. The butt cheeks and thighs, pretty much, that's the shape of the pillow you're on.
This is wrong on so many levels.
Come one, come all, because no matter what you're into, everyone can appreciate a gorgeous, glorious gluteus maximus. The Buttress Pillow is an up-and-coming pillow company specifically targeting those who love to fall asleep on a toned tushy. Their site boasts the product as the world's first true butt pillow.
Okay, before they start tapping the back end of it and making it functional. Oh, boy.
God.
Obviously, these pillows come second to the real rumps we can rest on, but boy, they are a close call. According to the site, these bad buns, are economic, being described as soft but supportive, but with a feeling like butts. And there's pictures of the article where people just got their face down in these things.
Oh, no.
So if you like big butts and you cannot lie, I think this pillow. Yeah, and it says right here in the article, the article claims that, according to the company, the sweet spot is between the thighs and the cheeks that will gently cradle your head and support the neck. So it has therapeutic value. But yeah, there's a dude with his face down in this thing, right?
I guess.
All you can imagine is just.
Does it give you meaning to face down, ass up?
Yep.
I don't need no pillow, man. I got me a good one.
Yeah, there's multiple pictures of people with their faces in these things on the website.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Buried.
Men and women.
Oh, my
5-pound bombs look nearly normal on the bed next to your regular old memory pillows. No, they look like two ass cheeks and thighs. There's a regular pillow in between two of these things, and yeah, they look like someone's ass.
Where's your hand between two pillows? Well, no, they really are between two pillows.
Yes, in this case, they really are pillows.
All right.
I'm dying.
Lathrop, California. Suspect drank 6-pack of beer inside Target dressing room. Suspected shoplifter reportedly drank an entire 6-pack of beer inside a Target dressing room, said the police. The officer said a woman took a cart and a 6-pack of Stella Artois. Wow, that's good.
The real deal shit. That's
the real deal. Not even like fast. Into a dressing room and stayed there for over an hour on Saturday afternoon. After finishing the beers, the woman left the store with about $200 in merchandise without paying.
Whoops.
A drunken bandit. Holy shit.
I expected more out of this. This was supposed to be better than this. Next, go to Mike.
Thank you, Florida. That's all I got to say to this next article. Thank you, Florida.
Oh, yeah, what do you got?
With great power comes great responsibility. But this webhead is really more of a knucklehead. A Florida man was arrested for boosting over $400 in Newport cigarettes and nearly $150 worth of liquor from a Winn-Dixie in the spirit store in Florida in January. However, the man's secret identity didn't stay secret for too long. He was caught on video entering the store without a Spider-Man mask before returning in his getup. But the real Peter Parker, Spidey sense, would have known that the store had cameras.
Man.
There's a line in the Spider-Man theme song that says, "He catches thieves just like flies." The Seminole County Sheriff Office wrote on the Facebook, "In this commercial burglary video, you'll see Spider-Man himself as a thief who managed to get himself caught by appearing on the surveillance camera unmasked." He took the mask off.
Oh, shit.
Police named Edward Wilburn as the Southern Fried Wall Crawler.
Southern Fried Wall Crawler.
The Seminole County Sheriff's Office said Wilburn is a repeat offender with 14 arrests since 1998.
What did he take the mask on?
He took the mask off while he was in view of the cameras.
There's some kids that are going, "That's not Spider-Man. Spider-Man don't look like that. Spider-Man's a wizard."
Why is Spider-Man stealing all these Newport cigarettes?
Yeah, really, no joke.
Oh, God.
Yeah, maybe he's going to steal cigarettes. Why doesn't he steal a good brand?
The Southern Fried Wall Crawler.
Oh, boy.
Southern Fried Wall Crawler.
I got to tell you, that could be the name of a really good cartoon.
Yeah, Southern Fried Wall Crawler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the Southern Fried Wall Crawler. I'll go back.
Hey, Jeff.
All right, what else we got? Bull attacks injures owners after going on the loose in New Jersey. A run-in with a bull sent its owner to the hospital after the bull was seen trying to mount the owner's car and charge police vehicles. This happened in Sparta, New Jersey. Why is there a cow in New Jersey? Around 3 p.m. on Friday, a cow was approaching vehicles on the roadway. The animal's owner called police and told them that she was headed there to help coax the bull back into the enclosure. It's unclear how he got in the first place. The officer said that she saw the bull bumping her vehicle, trying to mount it several times. Details that McDermott got out of her car in an effort to get the bull back into the gate, but the bull turned on her and started attacking her, throwing her around. No. This is McDermott screaming at the bull needed to be shot. McDermott was able to get into the police patrol car while the officer distracted the bull. Then the bull attempted to charge another patrol vehicle on the scene. At that point, the two other responding officers put down the bull. She was transported to a local hospital This is not the first time the bull became violent with humans. The same bull recently attacked McDermott's husband, but there was no way as serious as this. So, you know what the real problem is? The real problem is, do they have, see, I have pictures here, but does it show that they mount, the part where they mount the car? Maybe it was just horny. Wow, he was just horny. I didn't do that. Really? Oh, God, that was bad. As long as we get the animal one, can I go to the next one because it's an animal one too, Mike?
Go ahead.
Because as soon as I can, why is that? Hold on, sorry, just decided to do something stupid. Oh, there. Gotta get rid of there. There we go. This will work out perfectly because we now go from bulls to the other side of the planet. Paraglider lands perfectly and is promptly punched by kangaroo. Paraglider comes with many dangers, like the height and the height and the height. And you can get sucked into the sky by a dust devil too. But on top of all this, we're starting to report that you don't have to worry about kangaroos. Just kangaroos are beloved by people who aren't around them, detested by those who are, or you may be thinking, what, can a kangaroo jump that high? Well, no, idiot. The danger comes when you land. There's video above. Okay, so there's video of this, and it is on our site. It is on our Facebook site. You can check this out. And the man sticks his paragliding. He nails the paragliding landing to his joy. It is only increased when the kangaroo comes running up to him. He gamely asks, "What's up, Skip?" and then is punched.
Ouch.
Here's how he summarized the incident. I have been paragliding cross country for 2 years near Canberra. I have reached a position where I had to land. It is the last cleared valley where I could safely land, as over the next ridge there is only wilderness and trees. I decided to land on the concrete slab of an old Oriole space tracking station. I was concentrating on the landing. I didn't know the kangaroo until I landed. As he ran up to me, I thought it was being friendly, so I said, "What up, Skip?" And it then attacked me twice before hopping away. I picked up my paraglider. I had to walk several kilometers to get phone reception and call a friend to come and collect me.
Oh boy!
As the critter flees on the video, you can hear the man mutter, "Fucking kangaroos." The thing is,
how you doing, Skippy? I mean, what the fuck was he thinking?
Well, people sit there and go, "Oh, the poor kangaroo." Does everybody remember that one video where, like, the dog, like, there's somebody's dog, and the kangaroos got him in, like, a headlock and is punching him?
Yeah.
And the guy gets out of his car and walks over and slugs the kangaroo in the face?
Yeah.
And squares off? I'm telling you, kangaroos aren't at all, "Oh, they're so cute, it's kangaroo." Yeah,
No, they'll fuck you up.
Yep, they certainly will, and apparently they did here. What else you got, Mike?
I got one more story, and it's still in the animal category.
Oh, goody.
More animal stories.
All right.
Animal stories, yeah. There we go.
To take a cue from the Malcolm in the Middle star, cats are known for their curious and playful nature, both of which are usually charming personality traits. But the Florida Humane Society in Pompano Beach experienced a not-so-charming side when one of its cats turned on the water in a sink. After about 17 hours, one cat's curiosity had done quite a bit of damage. The incident occurred sometime on Wednesday morning, and by Thursday morning, Humane Society President Carol Ebert was getting a call about water running out of the facility's back door. According to the Miami Herald, the staff first thought the pipe had burst. Going inside confirmed that wasn't the case, as there was a water faucet on one of the cat rooms. The staff suspect a 6-month-old female who's always enjoyed playing in the sinks, although they don't have video cameras for evidence. But they acknowledged the other cats may have helped. A family adopted the cat since the flood occurred, and the staff made sure to warn them about the cat's possible talent for turning on water faucets. The Palm Beach Post reports that the bills to repair the facility is going to be at least $5,000, as multiple walls and shelters have to be torn down to prevent mold issues. Several items in storage were also destroyed. So same as that it happened last year. The guy from that Kunis guy from Malcolm in the Middle, his cat flooded his house.
Yeah, they flooded his house. Yeah. That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm careful. I keep an eye on my cat to be sure that she can't turn the water faucet on here.
I have a question. Were they trying to escape with the cats in a suitcase walking down the street?
Yes. That's why she was carrying the suitcase full of them, because she was trying to escape the flood.
Right. The trick is she did other things. If she had just flipped off the officer, she would be fine.
That's right.
Yeah, but she went ahead and started drinking, and that's how she ended up.
And then she's mentally unstable, so you're going to get you're getting a good lay out of her.
Right. As long as you're using the pillows that feel like ass.
Just don't get punched by a kangaroo when you land.
Yeah, don't get punched by kangaroos. Or mounted by bulls.
All right.
His son pranks his dad with a giant billboard for his birthday, prompting calls from around the world.
Okay.
A New Jersey man's phone has been inundated with texts and calls from well-wishers ever since his sons bought a billboard near Atlantic City. The sign reads, "Wish my dad a happy birthday." Includes the father's photo and a phone number. The billboard went up on March 6th, and the guy's received, take a wild guess, how many messages do you think he's received?
1,000.
At the time of when this was published, 15,000 messages from across the world wishing him a happy 62nd birthday.
Wow.
Even though the actual, when did this get published? This was on the 12th. Okay? So in 6 days, 15,000 messages, and his birthday wasn't until the 16th.
Wow.
After the billboard went live, he received a happy birthday picture from a stranger named Nick. When he thanked him and asked him how he knew each other, Nick said he had seen the billboard while driving. My dad immediately drove to the sign and took a picture with it. The Fury sons were stumped on what to get their dad for a birthday this year, and when they were young, they used to tell waiters at restaurants that it was their dad's birthday to pull his leg and maybe get free dessert. So they decided to continue to honor his dad in this funny way. They had recently purchased the billboard outside of Atlantic City for his addiction recovery center. He became inspired to get one for his dad as well. I called my brother and said, "Why don't we put my dad's picture on the billboard and say, wish him a happy birthday?" The prankster came out at me, and my brother said he loved it, and he was dying of laughter. He had it's big or go home. The two sons never expected so many people would reach out to their dad. We thought it would be a local area. His buddies would call it, and this would be a fun memory. We did not know it was going to be like this. Translation: it's gone viral. God knows how many people have called
yes, it did.
My favorite is, I can't, like the picture that they have here, they block out the number so you can't see it so no one can continue to call.
Right. I think it might have reached the point, I guess.
I imagine, yeah. Well, happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad.
From the Squares of the Round Table, we all wish you a happy birthday, Dad.
Yeah. All right, so from that to playing naked dance revolution at this hotel in Japan. At this Love Hotel in Japan. Apparently this is from Japan. In Japan, love hotels are specifically designed as places where folks can go and have sex. At the Hotel El Dayaya, when they're done with that, they can play arcade games. Room 211 at this hotel in Kobe has Dance Revolution Supernova machine. The room is available for 2 hours for $58 on weekdays and $67 on weekends and holidays.
Okay.
It's the only room in the hotel with a music game. Room 215 also has a Teiko no Tetsuo machine. You can play that too when you're naked. I don't know that I really. Apparently, this hotel also has like a rock climbing wall. Why would you want to do that naked?
Why not?
Some people, they just do.
Oh man, what? I don't know.
Well, I mean, in Japan, don't they have public baths in Japan?
Yeah. Well, there's something for that crazy woman that we were talking about earlier. What a great thing you to play Dance Revolution and Jetpack.
Well, a slide. Try that slide, baby.
Yeah. They have. I wonder if they have if it's a love hotel for sex. I wonder if they have the ass pillows.
They are not refined, but they are a very polite culture. But when the doors close and they're by themselves, consenting adults, they get into some weird shit.
Yeah, well, today there's a butt of all our jokes.
And messed up like that.
Yeah. Well, don't they work like 12-hour days? And then that's why everything that's in the anime and animated world is done at such a rapid pace that, the way their storylines are, because of the fact they have to try to cram so much in their free time.
I don't know.
Well, apparently they're cramming something. So I don't know if you guys are aware. So Cleveland fans are very, very happy because it seems as though the Cleveland Browns are finally back in the swing of things for NFL football. One fan got a little bit too rambunctious. Apparently, a Cleveland woman called 911 on a psychotic man running in the street. He was just excited about the fact that they were getting Odell Beckham Jr. The woman called police Tuesday night to report a man belligerently appearing, running, and screaming in the streets outside of her home. Quote, "There's someone in front of our house. He's yelling and screaming and flailing his arms. I don't want to get my kids out of the car yet because I don't know what's going on. He's running up and down the street just yelling. He's running from behind." Police showed up to investigate and found an innocent teen who was simply excited over the trade and couldn't contain his excitement. That's awesome. That's hysterical. I don't know. I don't think that's something that would happen. Well, no, I take it back. I can see that happening in Chicago. Let's see what else is that.
People love their sports teams.
Yeah, they do.
Here, this is good. We're on an animal pen today, so we might as well go here. Australian town hall funeral for crocodile.
Okay. Crocodile?
Crocodile Rock playing in the background and a tribute from Steve Irwin's family. A small seaside town in North Queensland Bay for farewell to a beloved community member, a saltwater crocodile, especially known as Bismarck, Fluffy, or Jerry. Fluffy? What the hell? There is nothing fluffy about it. Depending on who you speak to, the residents tell us ceremony to say goodbye to the town's 15-foot croc.
Okay.
50 people attended the service.
That's a big fucking croc, man. That is a big fucking croc.
The croc Bismarck crocodile made international headlines earlier this month when fisherman Ryan Moody posted a video on social media about finding the crocodile, rumored to be as old as 80, dead in the creek with what's believed to be a gunshot wound. Ooh, this got nasty.
Okay.
The family of the late Bushman, Steve Irwin, sent a representative and recorded a thank you to the small town that played their service, prizing their positive attitude towards reptiles. They said that their late husband and father, why are we talking about Steve Irwin?
I don't know.
You can't believe they had. Okay, well, enough of this story. Enough of this story. They held a funeral for
There
a
are
crocodile.
towns that like their pets.
Yeah, that's not a pet. It's a freaking crocodile.
80-year-old, 15-foot crocodile.
Yeah, jeez.
The big motherfucker.
Named Fluffy.
Or Terry.
No.
Rest
in peace, Fluffy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Whatever the hell your name is. We're almost done here. We got two more.
Make them quick. We're approaching the 3 hours.
I understand. We're getting right there. Florida woman shoots boyfriend for snoring too loudly.
What?
Police in Florida say a woman was arrested this week for allegedly shooting her boyfriend because he was snoring too loudly. Lori Marin, 47, was charged with attempted murder and aggravated battery. According to the sheriff's office, deputies responded at the home at Emerald Lake Drive after reports of a man being shot. When the deputies arrived, the man and Marin said the shooting had been accidental. However, as deputies began to investigate the accident, they found the shooting had been sparked by an argument between Marin and the victim, her boyfriend. They reportedly shot the victim because he had been snoring too loudly. The couple had been drinking and got into an argument before the shooting, of course. According to the press,
unstable woman.
Yeah, let's go back to the unstable woman part.
Do you see this picture?
Go back to the unstable woman part.
This article is posted on the Facebook page for the Squares of the Round Table. And if you see this woman, that's
definitely unstable.
You don't walk, you run.
Definitely unstable. All right, and finally, and the amusing part is this is all the stuff from some of the stuff we had from last week too. So we're cleaned out, which is good. This was from CNN, which means it had to be really good for me to grab it. Space flight is activating herpes in astronauts.
Okay.
No, CNN, I don't have $20.
Hey, check it out. There's an ad.
The longer astronauts spend in space, the more likely they are to have viruses like herpes, chickenpox, and shingles reactivated, according to new NASA research. The reason may be the same for viral reactivation on Earth, stress.
Oh, my goodness.
Samples of blood, urine, and saliva were collected from astronauts before, during, and after short space shuttle flight and long-term International Space Station missions. Herpes viruses reactivated in more than half of the astronauts. Wait a minute. How many of them have herpes? The study published last week in the Journal of Frontiers Microbiology. Today, 47 out of 89 astronauts on short space shuttle flights and 14 of 23 on long International Space Station missions shed herpes viruses through their saliva or urine. What the hell? Is that like a qualification to go fly in space? Quote, these frequencies as well as the quantities of viral shedding are markedly higher than in samples from or from before or after the flight, or from matched healthy controls. There's a lot more to it. The long and short of it is it sounds like there's a lot of astronauts with herpes. I'm not sure why.
Oh my goodness.
Man, oh man.
That's a lot here. It's on our Facebook page.
Careful, Lieutenant. You might get space herpes.
Yeah. You know
that's why you leave those green women on the moon alone.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, there's your thought. You know, we like crazy chicks. Let's do it in space. Oh, great. That's why we got herpes.
We know. Yeah.
Oh God.
And there it is, folks.
I feel like a bull, except this time I'm gonna, instead of mounting a car, I'm gonna mount the freaking pillow that has booty.
That's right. Put the face right in that crack.
Yeah, right between the cracks. I'm gonna put my head in. Boom. Hello. All right. So we thank Scott. Other people can be involved in sending us crazy ass stories too. I don't know why they don't. So, Mike, tell them how they can reach us and what they can do and all those other things.
Yeah.
You reach into the crack of the Facebook page.
I am going to
put your face right in between the cheeks of the Squares of the Round Table Facebook page. And you can see all these crazy articles and pictures that we talk about every week. Thanks to Scott for bringing them to our attention. We appreciate you. We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. Thank you for listening on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You'll know when you get new episodes, typically on Wednesdays. And we're also on PodBean. Download the free app, and you get the episodes all for free. It's all free. Please take it as my free gift to you. And we're also on the email thing. If you want to send a message, that's be fine too. SOTRT Podcast at gmail.com.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. And with that, we done.
We done.
We done.
We done. We done. We're not going to paraglide. We're not going to get anywhere near kangaroos. We're
not going to rest our faces down in some Asscheek pillows.
That's not comfy though.
Pillows. Huh?
It's getting late. I'm going to go find me a pair of Asscheeks to sleep in. Good night, guys.
Yeah, right.
See you next week.
Good night.
Yep.
Yep.